think that I just come in there and look for knockoffs, and that's not the case. I'm actually a sharp, smart fighter.
So, what happened? I'm here. Who want to fight with me?
I really don't care who's in front of me. I don't feel like no fighter can beat me.
My goal is to demolish everybody, to be honest. Everybody that's in my way. The pinnacle to any weight division is to have all of the belts, all of the titles.
Welcome to Bodywork. Welcome back. It's Michael Rogers. Welcome to Bodywork Boxing. It feels so good to be back. Take a couple woosahs. Take a couple of woosahs for your boy. I'm kind of curious as to where boxing is right now and what's going on, and I'm looking at the tea leaves and I'm looking at what's being put out here, and it's I'm an 80-20 guy. Well, I try to focus on the 80% good. I always say that we always focus on the 20% that's negative. And I always try to like rekindle my love for the sport of boxing, but I did a piece not too long ago about our Olympians, and it was called Unrecognized, because they're unrecognizable right now. If you look at the Olympians and how they're moving, and if they're setting the standard. But when I look at the sport and what's going on and the people that's moving the way they should be moving, that's moving on some Highlander type stuff, some Predator type stuff, they don't get no attention. We got Hall of Famers out here, they bipolar. I made this thing up, and ProBox put out something at 727 saying the Shakur fighting the fight that'll make Shakur a GOAT. But Billy Goat, like what do we talk about? Like, I don't get it, but it's ironic that I put this out and then right at 727 they come out, they pop out they tail with a fight that'll make Shakur a GOAT. I'm like, nah. Tonight, right? I just want to set the tone. Tonight is gonna be one of them nights where we just gonna talk about. We always do this, but I'm gonna make it a point to smash, to annihilate, to obliterate all these dumbass narratives out here right now. I think the sport is healthy, because it could be worse. We've seen what happened last year. Last year, we had a couple spots where, it got, boxing was good to us, but we already know from the year before that, the beginning of this year, like right at the beginning, we got spoiled. Then we had a little law, then it picked up, and now it's been these little things, but like, people are finding dance partners. There's a couple people that are not wallflowers. We got some people that's it seemed like they up to the same old games and the Schofields and what they talking about now, and like him and there's something going on with Mr. Gary Russell and them, and Mr. Gary Russell said, I'll be your Huckleberry, and they like, oh, well, let us, because our thing is the belts. And just last week, just 2 weeks, I swear, and this is why I stopped listening to him, I swear just 2 weeks ago, y'all said the belts didn't mean nothing. It's all about the big fight. Mr. Gary called that bluff, and now it's, oh, well, let us take care of that, and then we'll be happy to share the ring and put on knee pads for you. I mean, like, what? So tonight, man, I wanted to set the tone and give a precursor And to me, it's like this is one of the times where I normally be like, you know what? I'm gonna go do something else right now. But I committed myself to not doing that when I feel like that. I committed myself to go hard, but it's like, man, it's especially when the pertinent stuff, they don't get no views, or a week later somebody else do, or a day later somebody else doing your stuff. It's like when you do it, it don't nobody watching. Somebody watching, and them ain't no casual. Somebody's watching. But it's like we not holding like, man, people that's creating, you know, and I give grace, you know what I'm saying? I who am I to give grace? Let me stop right there. I'm nobody to give grace. I actually look at people and some people I don't necessarily agree with all the time. It's like the thing that we agree upon now is starting to, you know, it goes down. But the people that I you know, that I pretty much commit to watching and supporting, like whether it's a like, it's a view, it's, you know, comment here and there just to keep them going or whatever. It's like, it's wild when you start seeing the politics in every blood clot body. So I'm done with the politics, y'all. Like, that's why, I mean, this channel is what it is. I put up something where we got to 950 uploads. I'm proud of that. Why? Because I don't know how long it's been what, 4 or 5 years? I don't know, 4, whatever. But I could pump out content. I used to all the time. Like, man, I used to be, and then it's like, what, for what? Because y'all got to think, as the legacy mindset goes and like that throwback mentality, as that goes out the window, in comes this WWE and all that stuff. And then guess what happens? Art imitating life, or life imitating art. People who make content start imitating the gossip and all of that. And that gets all the attention. And then people can come out here and tell you anything, man. I heard some of the wildest stuff here. I've just been waiting to see who gonna keep it a buck. Like, ain't nobody gonna challenge nobody. Like, how the fuck? I'm not even gonna say it, man. I'm not even gonna say it, man. I'm just saying, man, just make sure if you're on medication, man, take your medication, man. Dial a friend, call a friend, man. If you know what I'm saying, like, use your lifelines, man. But some of the craziest stuff, I'll put it like this. Somebody tried to say that my man Tank got autism, bro. I'm like, man, just because you got, you know what I'm saying, just because you got it, that don't mean, like, come on, man. Like, there's no accountability in Boxing Talk online whatsoever. That's the tone, man. We not, like that on call. I started thinking about, like, something some people done said. Somebody I rock with said something. I got to think. I said, hold on, man. That's like a blanket for, oh, we going to let this person get away with some bullshit. We not going to let nobody get away with no bullshit. So to set the tone, man, I remember when Tank was in not too long ago. He's still there for real, because nobody has reached down in their pantalones and figured out whether or not they had a set of cojones. And the people that are doing it, they're not getting the attention they deserve. But when he had the seat, when he was in that hot seat, man, he couldn't do no wrong. He couldn't do no right. He never fought nobody. People still echoing them sentiments to today. That's him and Boots are different, but they lump them in the same category, I guess, because they're exciting to watch. But that's where it stops. We conflating legacies and putting people on the same pedestals as other, and it waters down the scales. We want to know the length, the width, the breadth, the depth, the buoyancy, the capacity, the volume of all these boxes. So we put them all on the scale. But that little dude from Baltimore, he always tipped the scales. And it's like, right now, like, it's like, man, if you was a boxer and you wanted to be prime time, you wanted to be a household name, like, this is the time where it's like, you could lose yourself in the moment. You could do something to make yourself, you could say, you know what, I'm taking Tank's spot. Ain't nobody got it. I'm looking at the two on the thumbnail and I'm like, okay, so it might not be no hot boy summer. Oshaki getting busy. Boots and Xander getting busy. People out here getting busy. And what are these two doing? What are these two doing? Why are these two never held to a level of accountability? The conversation around Boots and Xander got so toxic, I don't even want to talk about it on certain channels. Y'all trying to turn this into some Earl Spence and Bud type stuff. The same, like, it's just wild out here. But I noticed that these guys, they are never held to the same standard as you will hold everybody else. They've been playing hopscotch and peekaboo and all this, and ironically, the reason why I really backed off of them is because really, he set this out the way, really, I really had nothing to say about their last opponents and the result of it. Devin made me eat crow. I did not see him dropping Brian Norman and make him put his hands in his pockets. I still rock with Brian Norman. Had a fire interview. It was a short one. It was a short. He was like 27 minutes on Brian Custer. Go check it out. He still got his charisma. He's a mature man. He give me hope for the sport of boxing. If it was up for boxers like him, boxing would be 50% better. Why? Because they're going to take on the challenge. They're going to test themselves. They're going to move. And he got character. It's not contrived. It's not negative. It's not, you know what I'm saying? He's just an all-around good dude. Senior raised a good young man. I salute him. So I had to get off Devin back. What did he do after that? Because if we put them same shoes on the feet that Tank got, oh my goodness. Look at what happened through all the legal issues and coming off of a draw. They act like he got knocked out. Then he had the legal issues. Everybody went ham. Nobody really won a spot. Then we look at Shakur and all these moves. It was Ryan at a catch weight. Then it was all these other people, Linguini. I couldn't say nothing. Why? Because he arguably beat the best person, the most decorated, shall I say. Because everybody was saying that. I don't know why it's so quiet right now, because everybody was saying how Richard Hitchens needed to fight Gary Antoine Russell, and T.O. needed to fight Gary Antoine Russell, and all this, whatever, Gary Antoine Russell, blah, blah, blah. Everybody was saying that, and I'm saying, yeah, he wants all the titles, all the belts. Shakur beat T.O., the most tenured, even though Gary was the most perceived to be the most dangerous, and nobody ain't saying nothing about that. They want to say, can he be undisputed? It's like, no, the elephant in the room is who we need to fight. Gary Antoine Russell. But he looking above and below. And he back at this catchweight stuff. And nobody's holding him accountable. They want to put on the knee pads and the throat coat. But we're going to talk about it, man. I just had to set the tone for how this conversation going to be, man. It's going to be one of them. If you don't want to hear it, go ahead and bow out. Catch me on the next one when I got somebody that you like up on the thumbnail. But these are not the only two. We're going to talk about a couple things that was said here recently in the sport of boxing and how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? And like how I'm looking at it, and like why are people acting weird right now? And I challenge y'all sometimes, man, take a step back and just look and just wait and just listen. Forget that you like this person or whatever. Listen to what the hell they be saying. Because I think y'all be so caught up in somebody's charisma and the fact that y'all like them, y'all don't even be paying attention to what they be saying. Y'all just want to be part of the go along, get along game. But I got AC in the building. Thanks for your patience, AC, man. I didn't know if you was going to jump on or not. I just had some things in my mind. I said, man, let me talk about this, because we in a weird little time right now. It's fights getting announced and things is being made and call outs and all this, but it's some funny moves going on, and I'm like, why is nobody talking about this?
Because it's too relevant. It exposes too much as far as the narratives they want to push. This thing that you're talking about is not only subject to boxing. I'm now seeing it in other areas of social media, politics, and other things. Everything is just ramping up to where like we said before, is it social media that's ruining common sense? Is it social media or just the passion? Now, this is crazy. Just allow me just 5 minutes.
Go ahead.
I was looking at this this video. I follow this guy. He's a scientist dude, and stuff like that. He did a report or he did a video reacting on the newer elevations of humans. You know what I'm saying? So in certain ways, who we are we're still evolving. There now this race of people that can dive underwater for an extremely long time. You know what I'm saying? They've been recorded to be able to dive and hold a breath for it's more than three or 5 minutes. And I'm like, wow. And it's something to do with their pancreas. Now here was the other study. Here was the other part. Humans have now become creatures of wanting to be part of groups, large groups. The individual is almost disappearing. The act of being an individual is disappearing. This is why social media is driving this new elevation of the human psyche, which is driving a new elevation of a human, in the fact that if people don't start to wake up and then unplug for a little bit, you know, go to a gym, leave your cell phone alone, you don't have to scroll, do things like that, then you're going to start to lose your individualism. Then it's truly going to be sheep and a herd mentality. Because once an idea gets out there, the whole herd then reacts to that one idea. And that's the crazy part, that where the individuals are looking at it like, what the hell is going on? Why is everybody folding into any narrative that half-ass sounds good? Like, didn't you think about this? Didn't you think about the shit that this person is saying? How can you look at this person and say, yeah, this part is messed up, but yo, it blah blah blah, and it's like, wow, okay, if that's how you take it, that's how you take it. You know, if I'm still gonna be a fan of a fighter, even after they do something, well, you're not gonna do anything egregious to me, and then me still turn around and say, yeah, I'm a fan of yours. You know, that's pretty much number one. If you start to make me compartmentalize what you do in the ring, as opposed to the person, as opposed to this, that, and that, and now I gotta get over all of these hurdles to get myself hyped about a fight, then you lost me at that point. So that's kind of where I'm at, is this new elevation of humans and why these narratives constantly take control, why everybody starts spitting the same talking points and you don't even know why you're talking about it. Why did you choose that? I don't know. Or why are you saying what you said? I don't know, because I saw it. Okay. All right, that's it. That's all I needed to know. And that's where I'll land that, bro.
Yeah, that's interesting, because it's wild that I be witnessing these theories, right? And then I guess to qualify it, like having a source, a scientist got to come out and say, oh yeah, because I went and I got a PhD and this is what it is, and they use all these $1,000 words to describe it in definition. Then it's like, oh, okay, yeah, that is a thing. Like, it really is a thing. Like, YouTube is where you could be, like, really, like, people take full advantage of this. You could be whoever you want on YouTube, like whoever you want. So why not come on there and just be the one that's just gonna say exactly how you feel and what you see and what the truth is. What is so hard about that? Because if it catches on, because it's contagious, all you got to do is be charismatic enough to say what you're saying to where people are like, you know what, I like how they be doing this, but they keep it, you know. That's what I try to do. Try to mix in some humor, you know, some keen observation, the sweet science. Try to do a nice little sweet recipe of it, and we focus on what goes on inside the ring, and then we go outside the ring as necessary. Now, we do have to listen to a lot of interviews, and when I'm hearing these people and I'm like, okay, what's your motive? Okay, you trying to get paid. But it's like, out of all the boxers, out of all the topics, you got to jump in the same vein as everybody else. I don't get that. So like right now, Regis, we'll start with Regis. Regis comes out, he do this little interview, and he basically said he was terrified before the fight. He said, I didn't want to fight him. And these were the words that got me. He said, I didn't even care if I won. He said, I didn't even care about winning. I'm like, we had an all-time, like, where you get paid, you know you had to get paid handsomely for that. And I'm not a pocket watcher. But like, this is where we've come, where we've been compromised as fans to where we accept that. And Regis is my guy. He's the crippler in my boxes to watch. Everybody that's in my boxes to watch, I consider one of my guys to a certain extent. I'm not putting on no knee pads, no throat coat, no reach around extenders, no tonsil jewelry. No, not the kid. But he's one of my guys, and I'm like, is this where we at in boxing? The other one is this. I came out with this a minute ago. A little minute ago after it was announced. My first thoughts, once I knew that it was official. Dare I say? And I thought about it, it's like, yeah, I give the edge to Boots, but then when I looked at everything and I considered, and then I did the little nutritional value, put this dynamic out here, and people are just like, you can tell people have heard the segment on it, right? And their whole rationale is Boots ain't caring. No shit, Sherlock. No shit. Last time I checked, well, Xander ain't, well, they said Xander ain't caring. Last time I checked, it was Xander Zayas and Karan Chukagian. Like, but people start acting dumb. They start acting like they don't have no sense. They leave all their common sense and their critical thinking skills offline, and then they get online and they be like somebody, they want to be a mindless zombie. They want to be with the, you know, the high school, the high school jock with the cheerleader. They want to be part of the in crowd. They want to be down like Brandy, and I don't get it. But I started looking at it and I said, you know what, a mover, somebody that's actually bigger than him, taller than him, just as long, maybe just as athletic, younger, like all of these things. But he's not caring. He's a mover. Like Karen was a mover. He was considered a mover. He's a mover. The last time we seen him have to cut the ring off on a skilled guy that was with their skill set and how they move. Now, do they do the exact same things? No. But they have great lateral movement. They know how to pivot. They have, you know, I would say more than decent balance. But the topic of the conversation became, it morphed into something else to where it's like, why didn't Xander take the 55-45? Like, you really going to sit around for 3-4 hours, 2, 3, 5, 50, 11 times a week talking about that dumb shit instead of enjoying the fight? And I told y'all, when it was first announced, I did a video and I said, here come all the Xander slander. Watch out. And I'm not even a big Xander fan. He grew on me. But I guess people, you know, I mean, I don't know what's going on in their personal, like what's going on outside, but like they feel like they gotta click up and link up, and you can't speak the truth or whatever. The fact of the matter is, they shitting on Xander so bad and saying he ain't fought nobody. I'm like, well, why did Boots want to fight him? Like, yeah, he wanted to fight Virgil. We know why he wanted to fight Virgil. That's the style that he liked. Why did he want to fight him? Because he got 2 belts. So if I got 2 belts, why the fuck? These be the same people. This is why I say it's so dumb. These be the same people that was standing up for Earl when he had 3 straps and Bud had 1. These the same people having these same dumbass conversations like, so, oh yeah, just because Xander don't bring nothing to the table. He don't bring nothing to the table. Like in the climate, in the landscape of boxing, just like what we just seen Keyshawn do it. Linguini number 2. Devin Linguini number 1. All these names they attach themselves to just to fight. And I watched Devin do it for years. I've been watching Keyshawn do it here now for a couple years now. Years now. It's plural now. Time is going by. But with the man moving up without no leverage, you know what they could do? They could have easily like just said, you know what? Nah, we're gonna take this down to Puerto Rico. We're gonna get a tighter defense. They could have looked the other way and left you on the outside looking in. Now the whole topic of the conversation is why didn't he take? Oh, he don't really believe in himself because he ain't take 50. No, he didn't take 55-45 because he got 2 belts and you ain't got nothing. I ain't gotta be from Philly to say that. Like, what are we talking about? We turn great things in boxing into terrible things in boxing. Why? Because you're not creative enough to come up with something to talk about the same thing, but that's the narrative? Stop it. You've been hearing all this 50, Xander he don't believe in himself because he didn't take the 55-45 AC. Am I awful? Like, just check me if I'm off.
No, that was the craziest thing that I believe I've ever heard in boxing when it comes down to shit like that. Like, even when Boots brought it up, I was like, why are you talking about the most irrelevant thing that you can find to talk about? I was like, what was the point in that? You're trying to give your fans and the narrative makers something to talk about, because this is the issue for me. It doesn't matter the 55-45 at the core, and I always say, you know, at the core, devil in the details. He took the fucking fight. Something that Eddie said he wouldn't have done for you, but he took the fight. All of the 55, that's the 55, whatever. He bet on himself by simply taking the fight. End the story. That's it. Why would he take, why, what else do I need to do? I didn't need to take the fight, but it came across, said, all right, let's do it. The other 2 guys got real funky with me, so I took the fight. That 55-45 right there, I bet on myself that I can beat your ass. All the money thing, that's irrelevant. I got 2 belts. That's leverage. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like those dudes would get pissed off because I would just be telling them, look, with just in the scope of common sense, the man took the fight. That's all. If y'all say Xander is X, Y, and Z and Boots is X, Y, and Z, then the younger guy who makes the fight and puts all of that together, that's his leverage. He's got 2 belts. He said, listen, you're free, I'm free, let's do this. However the offer went, he said yes, that's it. And none of us really knew about it. We heard rumblings about it, but it got done without all the dumb shit. Now y'all talking about the what? The dumb shit. The shit that don't matter. I don't give a fuck about the purse split. All I give a shit is that, yo, the young man took the fight. That's all the credit I need. 23 years old, got his shot for the belt, then automatically unified. Now he's taking on one of the top, as they say, one of the top guys in the division. A guy that's coming up from 147, unified champion, Ring Magazine champion. You decided to take the fight with him when your own promoter said, "Yo, that's I wouldn't have moved. I wouldn't have moved my guy like that."
Told on himself, but no. Let me do a slight correction. They're saying that he is the number one guy at 154. AC. That's
Boots.
what I'm like. When did that
Boots.
move? Like they must have did that overnight.
Yeah, that's Boots. I listen, bro. You go on BoxRec. That's how they have it. Xander's number 4. I asked the question. I said, if the unified champion is number 4, who's 3, 2, and 1?
Yeah, Fundora, who done fought damn near everybody, yeah, he got scraped, you know what I'm saying, but he took out Lubin before Ortiz.
I could
did.
see Fundora being 2 or whatever. Even
he got to be number 1 and number 2 by default. He got to be by default.
Yeah, but I can. The argument makes more sense to me, and I don't know if anybody else agree with me. But the argument makes more sense to me that if anybody's going to be number 1, it's Fundora. Number 2, Xander.
Yeah, I mean, kind of like by default you got to, but that's what I'm saying. Like they made it so ugly that I don't even want to talk this no more. Why? Because it's like people who be having standards like this, and it happens with all of them. That's why I say I don't like going to camps when they speak about people that's like part of their camp. And I try not to do that. I'm not part of Tanking them camp. I know I'm from Baltimore, but I don't have that. Like when the last time I done something solo about Tank and this, it's very rare that I do that, and I do that on purpose as an example. But I do not like talking about people who be talking for the people that they trying to represent. Why? Because they throw all their damn standards out the way and then be trying to preach to everybody else. And how you preaching to everybody else and you compromising? Based on what? Like he was at the mercy of Xander saying, "Let's do this." He had all of the controls and all the power. But you got to turn it, you don't believe in yourself. I guess that's gamesmanship. I guess that's how they're trying. But the fans are taking that on. I'm like, what are y'all talking about, bro? So the man should have took a dumb cut. Why? Because some boxing writers got together. We ain't seen him. We seen him fought one person at 154. And he's number 1 at 154. And this is the thing. This is the kicker. And I'm going to move on from this. Because I know somebody's throbbing right now. When Boots had 2 and a P. He had the IBF, the WBA, and the Precious. He didn't afford Brian Norman that opportunity. That glory could have been his, and he could have had 3 of them on his way to fight who? Probably the winner of Ryan Garcia and Barrios. And being undisputed, arguably, right? I mean, we would assume that Boots probably would get out on Ryan. You know what I'm saying? We would assume, or Boots would probably get out on Mario Barrios. We would assume that. But he didn't do that. When he had all that leverage, he didn't jump up and fight. He didn't get in that WBA line and fight the champ right away. He didn't even use the IBF. And see, they said that it was weight when it was the 147 thing, when he just arbitrarily just jumped up. But when he jumped up, he didn't use his leverage for Bakram. So we got to put him and Virgil. Virgil said it's because of the rehydration. That's what Virgil and Robert said. But he didn't use his leverage to go do that. So if you was in the seat and Xander told that man that, he's like, yeah, you wouldn't have did this. You wouldn't have done this. They wouldn't have. Eddie done just tape. Eddie and Eddie, I was about to do it. This whole thing was getting ready to be about Eddie, man. This whole shebang bang was getting ready to be about Eddie, man. This dude be putting his foot in his mouth so much. Like he's so full. Like it's 2 Eddies. You got the guy that if you on this squad and it's time for the cameras, when they say, hey, we about to do an interview, yeah, you would want him to be the one speaking for you. He gonna make you seem like you the best thing since sliced bread. But boy, oh boy, if you just wait a week, if you just wait 2 weeks, if you just wait a month, if you just wait 3 months, he gonna tell on himself just like these boxers. Eddie wouldn't allow you to do it, and that's why we didn't get all them damn fights. But if Boots was in Xander's spot, he wouldn't have done it. The proof in the pudding is he didn't do it. But we're gonna turn the whole conversation a nice, decent scrap, the green print, 2 young up and comers. See, this is what I'm getting at. When Earl did what he did with 3 straps, right, and Terrence went and played, like they wouldn't let him play in any reindeer games and did all that and left him at the altar, just like Canelo did, Caleb Plant and all that when that was the belt that he needed. Just when all that happened and Earl went through with it and the outcome was the outcome, they shitted on Earl. I said, man, that's bad for the sport. Why? Because other people in those positions are not going to want to do it. When Brian Norman afforded Haney, when he needed an olive branch to rebound after the Ramirez fight, when he did it, when he came back and said, oh man, I learned some things, you know what I'm saying? He won the mental game upstairs. He had me out of my character. I was talking this, I was doing that, and I learned a lot. I learned that he has a machine behind him. He got this, and that. You know what they said? Oh man, why don't he just admit that he just blah, blah, blah? And they trying to shit on him. I said, see, we are going to set a precedence in boxing to where these young guys, they're going to do what Shakur is doing right now. They're going to do what Keyshawn doing right now. They're going to do what Devin is doing right now at this moment, finding every fucking reason why not to make a fight. Why? Because they've already made it. I told you, Shakur, they are the youngest, oldest Hall of Famers that I know right now. They've done it. Oh man, he already got undisputed. What's left for him? Oh, he don't deserve. Well, hang up the gloves. They doing it with Shakur. So if we keep, and just like with Xander, the way we treat Xander for doing this, other boxers are going to watch this shit and be like, nah, why? If we transition over into Schofield and them were talking all this hot shit about Gary, and happened to mention, I don't know why they did it, happened to mention Mr. Gary Russell. He on that ass. He's on that ass like a pit bull. He came out, he checked him. I ain't never seen Senior be so polite and respectful because he already know what it is. He already know what time it is. Them Russells, they don't play. He came back and he backtracked it. And just 2 weeks ago, they did an interview because I was just now starting to warm. I said, okay, maybe they did mature. Senior, he do seem more laid back. I will give him a couple points for seeming more laid back. He's not so turned. He ain't saying so many outrageous things no more because I was getting sick of him. 3 pullouts. H2O. Shakur and JoJo. 3 pullouts. And he turned down Abdullah Mason fight for $1 million. He turned it down. So then Mr. Gary Russell come on and say, hey man, listen, man, I thought it was honorable. There are some young guys that's, they really want to show and prove they're the best. So yeah, I would give, I was actually looking at them like they got some respect. He's like, but nah, now I want your son. And now they talking about, oh man, well, no, what we got to do and see what had happened was, and we getting ready because what we about to try to do, because Tank's belt, and we trying to get, it's like what? Remix City now. Nobody talking about that. They just say, oh man, Gary, he talked too much. Well, he did come up to 35. He did get acclimated. He trying to get active. He ain't trying to do what some of these other dudes are doing where he just cherry picking. He can get in there. He can make a fight with whoever he wants. They don't want to get embarrassed by him, but it was mighty crazy how after Tevin Farmer went through the ringer with a Moritalia and 2 Zepedas, Kid Schofield was in the mess hall with his chest out, and he sparked him in less than a minute. Cool. Why you ain't got that same energy for Gary? Now it's all of a sudden all because the belts and all that. But just last week, you were saying the belts didn't matter. It's all about big fight. Listen, man, we didn't try it. I can't even imitate him. I don't even want to put myself in that feminine lane like him. What do you think about that? Now, what you think about that, AC? Now Schofield and them backtracking.
Well, that's hilarious. I wanted to touch on something you spoke on earlier and stuff like that, and that's
Go ahead.
Regis. And I'm just gonna touch on it real quick before I get to the Schofield. Um, Basically, I feel like this. The comment that Regis said, they're basically saying if you want us to bring you back and have you part of this program or whatever, you got to clean that shit up. So it's not on Connor. They throwing Regis under the bus. Regis is the scapegoat for Connor's performance.
Regis.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Connor's performance was Connor Ben. I mean, look, he just came off of two excellent showings, with Chris Eubanks. So if you look at the two, Regis versus JoJo, that was questionable. So Regis has to be the blame. So if we need to contact Regis, have Regis come out with the statement on a platform, and we need to clear this up. Because we're not going to take the hit, and we're not going to let Connor take the hit if we just paid him all of that money. Makes perfect sense to me when you look at the players and how they've moved in other situations. So that's where I just want to leave that. Just accept the fact that Connor Ben's performance is Regis' fault. As long as you can accept that and twist yourself in a pretzel to believe that and follow that, you'll be all right. You won't be explaining shit. You won't be, well, this. Don't. Okay, it was 100% Regis' fault. So, with that being said, moving on to the Schofields. I've done my best to try to rationalize at times what I see from the Schofields and say, all right, are you doing your very best impression of Jerry West, the Mouth of the South? Are you doing your very best impression of Captain Lou Albano? You know what I'm saying? Some of the great WWE or WWF wrestling mouthpieces and stuff like that. So I was giving you that lane, and I said, all right, that's who he is. It's the annoying part that made people want to watch your fighter, even though your fighter is dangerous. It's the annoying part that made people want to tune in to see if this annoying ass man son gonna get his ass whooped. And that, I think that might have been the dynamic you were chasing. So that's where I was trying to be like, look, it's all strategic, bro. Go back to the greats of WWE. It is what it is. Look at Don King. Don King used to talk hella crazy shit. Jerry West used to talk crazy shit. Lou Duva. All of these dudes used to just at times get real reckless with the shit that they're saying. So I was like, okay, I'll give them that lane. Moving forward, you then start coming up with some of the other crazy stuff, and then y'all pulling out of fights that would, if your son wins, he's within the conversation of a Ryan Garcia, of a Connor Ben, before both of these guys got belts. You know what I'm saying? Because the way you were moving your son, you are aligning him for everything that puts him in that space, but then for whatever reason, you decide not to do it. So, I'm like, me personally, I got a nickname for you guys, and I don't think y'all gonna like it. You know what I'm saying? I really don't think y'all gonna like the nickname that I got for you guys. because they even made a movie about you guys. There's a book about you guys. You feel what I'm saying? Niggas is Chicken Little. For real. Always complaining the sky is falling. So at the end of the day, now it's like, all right, I'm not gonna believe you until I actually see the sky falling, because I don't know how that happens. So that's where I am with them dudes. They just are weirded out just to be weirded out, you know. And
yeah, they clout. Like, it's like you're gonna milk that thing, and then he's gonna get exposed bad. Like,
yeah,
he's gonna get exposed bad. Like, especially if he get in there, he get in there with the wrong. Like, you bark up that tank tree, it's gonna probably look worse than Frank Martin, man. Like, you'll probably, you know, you got some power, so you're gonna have to respect it probably a little bit more. But the IQ that Frank got, I don't think it's there. His gifts are more physical, but his technique is flawed. And it's gonna be it. It's gonna be it. He's gonna be another one of them guys that's gonna be even more famous when after he wake up. But
you know who
to
I
go
got
back,
stopping him? No, real quick. You know who I got stopping him if he would ever decide to go to 140? And it's gonna be bad. And Neil Albright will beat the shit out of that dude.
Oh yeah, yeah, that'll be bad. That'll be bad. I'm kind of leaning towards it. But let me go into this. Let me read this concept real quick, because this applies to this whole Boots Xander thing. And I was trying to figure out what it was, but this concept, I'm gonna read it and then I'm gonna tell you what it's called. Is a logical fallacy where the premise of an argument assumes the conclusion to be true, creating a self-authenticating loop instead of providing evidence. I see this a lot with Shakur fans. I'm starting to hear with the Boots fans. And I'm talking about, when I say that, I say only fans. Because I'm fans of these guys too, but I'm not only fans. It occurs when an argument like A is true because B is true, and B is true because A is true, fails to make progress. This is what we're doing right now. We are caught up in a loop, no matter what the subject matter is. If you want to, especially when it comes down to these creators, if you want to keep that market, I don't care. Like, if I come out and I cook Shakur one day and you want to unsubscribe, okay. All right, bye. If I'm cooking on Key and you don't like it, okay, you want to, okay, bye. I'm not going to compromise the truth in my logic just because I want to maintain a certain part of that market share. No, that market, they gonna mess with me because when he do what he's supposed to be doing, and when he do things like when he proposed to that chick or whatever, I highlighted that. When he got all the way up until it's coming up on 2 years now, like a year and some change, almost about 2 years now, when I said, you know what, it wasn't until recently I said, you know what, I'm technically not. Only when they yell ding, ding, ding. But I'm not going to compromise. I sit around, listen to these guys compromise. I sit around, listen to all these people that's in all these cliques that always sit around, have the same old dumbass water cooler talking points that don't make no goddamn sense. Because in the real world, y'all be done cook the shit out of somebody for real. But because y'all want to be down like Brandy, I guess why? Because the Kool-Aid is good there. They doing the house party Kool-Aid over there, but this Kool-Aid ain't sweet enough. No, this is fruits and veggies. You're going to get a motherfucking smoothie with pineapples and all kind of coconut water, all kind of good stuff over here. You ain't going to get that dumb shit over there, or like that you getting everywhere else. I say go ahead and listen to them idiots. But it's the definition is circular reasoning. And that's what we get. That's why when you get on something, you go somewhere and you be like, oh, okay, cool, I'm going to see what's going on. And it be all right. And then you go again and it's like, it's the same shit over and over again. Circular reasoning. Like, because you already assuming a conclusion. We do this because this is boxing. It can only be, it could be a couple different, but really it should be binary. It should be win or lose. Sometimes we can get a draw. But we do this, and since those are the only outcomes, you assume the conclusion to already be true. And then you make these statements. I deal with this, like, especially with I don't even want to say his name, especially with this one dude was a huge Shakurian, Lord of the Shakurians. You know, he used to do this all the time. Always basing his focus and his talking points based on the fact that Shakur has already beaten everybody that he's supposed to fight. If you go into that, you don't have no expectations, which would be a very good transition into the meat and potatoes. I didn't have any housekeeping or none of that because I ain't wanted to be like that. I wanted to see who was going to show up and really keep it real when we start asking all these questions, and not just be like, oh, come on. Just if you get up here and if you respond to me and say, oh, you just hating, then I'm just going to ignore you. I'm going to tell you that now. I'm just going to tell you that now. But right now, this is getting ridiculous, and I'm looking at it, and I'm wondering, I'm like, hold on, man. People are getting real creative. They're getting real creative in skirting around the fact that these guys have arguably, they just got all this momentum. They both moved up Devin fully to 147 and not a catch weight, and took on the champion Brian Norman, who they were saying was probably the most dangerous at 147. People didn't crown him, but by default, they was probably saying he was the most dangerous. And hell, he got the knockout of the year. Great for the boxing fans. That's some Highlander type shit. Shakur, he jumps up and he gets Teofimo Lopez, the most decorated. That's a Bud move. The logic behind it is like, yeah, get him, even because he's not the most he ain't the most dangerous. I went over that. Gary Antoine was, and I said, listen, they only used to use Gary Antoine and them and the Russells like pit bulls. Whenever it's somebody that they know they don't like, they would definitely go do an interview with them and have them say something or entice them into saying some things or whatever. They will always give or they will weaponize them. So if you bring up Richardson Hitchens, they're gonna automatically bring up Gary Antoine Russell. You bring up Shakur where he beat Tio, and now the landscape is like it's three other straps. It's three other straps. You never bring up Gary Antoine Russell, but you allow him to entertain Ryan with a catch weight. That went away. Ryan came to his sister and said, yeah, I said I'll fight you, but fuck that. You want to fight me, come up. And David Benavidez, good job for you for tapping Ryan on the shoulder and say you'll be a dummy to do that. And his whole premise is he want to do Ryan the way Conor Ben did Eubanks. And ain't nobody saying nothing. Even when we were talking about it, I remember it got heated when we was going over to another channel, and it got a little heated because I kept saying, man, fuck that fight. I don't even want to see that shit, man. Fuck that fight. Why? Somebody that came over here was saying, why, man? Why, Body? Why? Because, man, you want to put that man on a rehydration clause, and he's really like a 68 pounder. He shouldn't even be at 60. If you're talking about the bread and circuses, the definition of a freak show, a circus act, that's what that was. And then y'all let him do it twice. The man, the first time the man could have been unalive the way he was looking, and they say he was in heated blankets and all that. That is dangerously unsafe. But Shakur want to do the same thing, and he'll turn around and tell you that, oh man, size don't matter, and like, his skills pay the bills and all that. But y'all let him double talk all the time. I want to know, why was Tank always held accountable? Why didn't we never respect the shooter when it came down to Tank? But there is absolutely no. They feel like Shakur has already made it. They saying that if he fought Devin right now, this would be the fight that'll make him a GOAT. How? That same dummy that I was talking about, that same Shakurian, the one who do that circular reasoning everywhere, he ain't stopped, he ain't changed. Last time I heard him, he doing the same circular reasoning argument, making all these points and all these premises based on a conclusion that he already says is true, but it hasn't happened yet, so it can't be true. So everything that he says is fallacious. I remember when that guy asked him who's the first champ he fought, he couldn't even tell me. I'm like, man, wipe your mouth, dog. That's unbecoming. Fix your blouse. Stand up. Get off your knees, brother. That don't look too good. He didn't even know. So I'm like, you're gonna put, so they gonna say that he's a GOAT. If he beat T.O., he beat Devin. He beat De Los Santos for that vacant, right? He defended against Zepeda, even though they act like Zepeda had a strap. He beat Jamel Herring, Oscar Valdez, and Joel Gonzalez. He's gonna be a GOAT. I'm like, stop. We gotta stop it, man. We gotta stop it, man. And then Devin came out. I said, oh, A-side problems. He was stuck between Keyshawn and Xander. I said, hey, coming off the Brian Norman fight, I'll take either one. That'd be some big boy, you know what I'm saying? And so now they trying to say that Xander, this is the logic, y'all. This is why I say there ain't no accountability, man, and we need to stop this. They tried to say that Xander ducked Devin. I can't make this up. So he would go fight Boots.
Buddy.
But I can't even say it. I can't even say it. And now the Rolly thing. Remember when I came out and said, oh man, I heard people, you know what I'm saying, they chopped and screwed it. I heard people out here spitting it, but I said, man, let's listen to Rolly's math. The day after, everybody was talking about math and Rolly's math. And I'm like, yeah. And you said, man, anytime Rolly doing math, that's dangerous. Like, that's wild. Like, look at where we've come. And we said, yeah, he's mature. He sounded more mature. He was more mature than Clarissa. He held his own. He held his own on Nightcap with Shannon and Ocho. He did his thing with Brian Custer, and he told us then that Devin was ducking. Devin come out and say that, hey, the money was right. He gave us an offer that, yeah, I can't even act like him. The offer was, it was a good offer, and so I think, it was a fight that made sense. So we're gonna see what happens. And then he only to come out and say, oh no, man, like he's not the A-side. We the A-side. Okay, A-side shawty. But when Tank was in that seat, which he still technically is, why? Because nobody took his spot. That's the elephant in the room. They won his spot. Hold on. They want everything that comes along with being in his spot. But they're not moving like the pressure that he had to move in that spot. So, bottom line, it's like, because my man Calico, he came on here the other day. He was like, man, I'm going out. Yeah, man. I like all my black fighters. I do. I like all my black fighters. But at the same time, like, no, man. Like, no. That's why this is on code. Like, this on code. We got to stop that. We got to be on code for the truth. We got to be on code for the standards. Like, if you have this aspect, and I've literally heard, Bills came on here and said, oh, yeah, it'd be different if it was Tank. And I'm like, I know, but knowing that, we got to stop all this nonsense talk that we be talking. Because nobody holds these two accountable like they held Tank. And yet, one's supposed to be on the Mount Rushmore, and the other one, he's already up there with Tim Bradley and Bud and Ward. I mean, Bud ain't even got there technically yet. He's going to be in there as soon as it, come up. But like, they're putting him in there with Andre Ward, with Timothy Bradley, Oscar De La Hoya, Bernard Hopkins. They're already putting Shakur there. I'm like, well, if you're putting Shakur there, are you having a conversation about Devin? And then how is Devin moving right now? But there's no accountability. So even if you say, okay, you get a soft one after the Brian Norman. But your actions were saying you had this list, you made a list, you was checking it twice, you gonna see who's naughty and nice. Mind you, Hitchens wasn't on that list. He was an honorable mention. Xander wasn't even on the list, and people allowed that, but they always go back to, oh, he had a list. It's like you can't have it both ways. If he had a list, he should have been going down, and I believe Shakur was on the list. So if we take a page from Tank and Ryan, if we take a page from Earl and Bud, then what's popping? Not with no weird catch weight type stuff, none of that. if his skills pay the bills, and Devin was always just naturally bigger than you, then skills still pay the bills. But y'all let Devin skip out. Y'all let Devin do all that name attachment, clout chasing, linguini with Xander, knowing damn well he wasn't going to hop his ass up to 54 right now to go fight no damn Xander Zayas. He was not going to do it. Y'all let TBV and all them people like gas y'all up to go do that dumb shit, like to believe that shit. Like, no, you know who they advertising, and it's cool. They rock with him. Okay, cool. They gonna be the voice for him. Okay, cool. That don't mean we can't check that shit at the door. But y'all let him get out of that Xander shit when he was just attaching now. Like, okay, I ain't even gonna get on him because he just made me eat crow for Brian Norman. So right now, I just want to see the next move. Oh, and then the Keyshawn thing. Keyshawn went out there to the Friday house talking about Debo and this and that, whatever. We ain't heard nothing about that. The ironic thing is we can never get Keyshawn against Shakur, which he's number one in the WBO. Right there where Shakur got the title, so we couldn't get that. So it would be a carnal sin to ask for Keyshawn and Devin, and I was like, who's the A-side then? You got two super duper A-sides running around saying, I'm A-side, 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 and they didn't even fight. And then the next logic, so we didn't get the Ryan fight, game 8, we didn't get it. Just add water. We don't even got to add water. Just make the fight. We didn't get that. The next best thing is the guy who beat Ryan, who would close the triangle. On the triangle theory that I got going on. That maybe Rolly got Devin number, Rolly got Ryan number. Ryan got Devin number. We don't know who got who number when it comes down to Rolly and Devin. And you can do that, what I call circular reasoning argument, as if Devin has already beat Rolly to base all your claims, but it's going to fall short because we see right through that shit. But then he come out and say, oh man, the money wasn't right. Okay, Mr. A-side, then make the money right. A-side? You can't have it both ways. There is no accountability. And every time you try to do it, oh, here you go. We already know you hate. Okay, you're dismissed. That has no relevancy. You just wasted like 4 or 5 seconds of my life saying that, regurgitating that dumbass, somebody's hating. Like, no. Because when the shoe was on the other foot, when Tank is in that spot, they expect him to fight any and everybody. They said the man duck Conor Ben. It don't make no sense, y'all. I want to know, man. We can't be on this on code shit. We got to be on code for the truth. Not your favorite fighter. Not the guy who you might mess around and get tickets or you might get an interview with. Fuck that. Is an interview worth your integrity? And the thing is, even when y'all get the interviews, y'all put them out late. Y'all don't even dice them up and do them all right. Y'all don't even gel them up and put them out the right way. Y'all just slap that shit out there and brag, oh yeah, I got this guy on my channel. You don't even produce the shit to make it worth nothing. You gonna sell your integrity for that? You gonna be all things New Jersey, and you gonna ignore the truth just because that's your favorite fighter and you consider the resident Shakur channel? Fuck that. We gonna poke holes all in that shit.
So this is where it gets interesting for me. Again, over the last couple of days, I saw this this statement that KRS made. And some dude did a reaction video off of it. And KRS was talking about basically how rappers sell out. In order for you to get famous, you have to sell out. And that's why he didn't sell out. That's why he's in the position he's in and blah, 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 because he never sold out. Hands down, when you talk about that generation of rappers, KRS-One, Rakim, that whole thing, I had KRS ahead by I don't know how many mileages, and I still am a huge fan of Rakim. But I was like, Chris, you're 100% wrong. You're 1,000% wrong. Because you were just never marketable. You were the Terrence Crawford of hip-hop. You feel what I'm saying? Rakim, his song "Sweat the Technique" made it to a Cadillac commercial. You know what I'm saying? Jada Kiss and Yummy made it to the Lincoln commercial. So the point is that you weren't marketable. That's all it is. It's not, you could have played the game 1,000 times, but you were just never marketable. And this is the thing that some boxers don't understand, and the fans of the boxers know it, so they constantly have to make content that makes them seem a certain way. But hold on, let me let this. But basically what I'm saying is that within that space, if you're a marketable person, you're just marketable. George Foreman, big old George Foreman. Out of boxing, nobody talking about him. Somebody picks up the phone and says, listen, we got this little grill thing. Do you want to be the spokesperson in the face of it? Big George says, oh yeah. People really think George Foreman created that grill. That was a licensing deal and shit like that. So that tells you the power of marketing. That tells you the power that if you're that person, people will associate your face with the product, and that's it. You reach the pinnacle. It's one of the biggest selling products that the American market has seen in decades, and it had big George Foreman face on it, and the commercials were just as whatever, you know. He wasn't out there being anything extra. He was just, hey, I'm big George Foreman. You want a good meal and knock out that fat, put that big ass hammer fist up in the camera and shit like that. And people were like, oh God, I need the George Foreman grill. I need it now. You
I
know,
had one.
I had one too. You know what I'm saying? And when the first one got fucked up, I went out and bought another one.
Yeah, I had two of them.
So
I used to cook steaks on that motherfucker perfect.
yeah, steaks, burgers, you know, whatever. So the point I'm making is that KRS was just never that dude. When you look at rappers who never compromised, Mos Def, you feel what I'm saying? Run from Run DMC, Mace, LL Cool J. You feel what I'm saying? Common. You know, these dudes never compromised who they are or their love of hip hop to become Hollywood famous. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at the roles of Common, all of his roles are tough. He played the main bodyguard of a chick who sat at the high table, damn near second in command in one of the John Wick movies. You feel what I'm saying? So when you look at Jizza, and you know, he was in, if I'm correct, Jizza was in The Matrix. You know what I'm saying? He had Samurai, he had Kung Fu Samurai, or whatever that joint was, the animated joint about the black samurai dude. So the point is simple. If you're not marketable, then yeah, these guys are gonna be extra creative with you. Is Shakur Stevenson marketable? Yes, but it's a specific way you have to market that dude, and he's already changed one of the features that would have made him extremely marketable, like Michael Strahan. You know what I'm saying? I forgot the actor's name that had the big gap between his teeth and stuff like that, but you know,
Lawrence Fishburne made hundreds of millions of dollars with that motherfucking gap.
Exactly. So the point I'm saying is that you play to your strengths, and if you had that type of person and you're claiming that you're X, Y, and Z, then they can figure out how to market you, because the right person does it, and that starts from your stylist. You know what I'm saying? Ghostface got a signature look, a signature way of rhyming and everything, and all of that. You know what I'm saying? You see somebody in some crazy looking getup, little short, hunched over looking dude, you probably say to yourself, if you're here on the East Coast, yo, that might be Ghost over there. That might be Ghostface. You know what I'm saying? But when I look at fighters like Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, Jerron Ennis, all three of these guys have a niche way of marketing them that makes them a global commodity. But you just have to hone into that one thing, and you're not there. Tank, with limited speech, he's highly marketable without opening his fucking mouth. Why? Because of what he does in the ring. What that man does in the ring. He puts asses in seats and knocks motherfuckers out. And can box you and knock you the fuck out. Much like Floyd, young Floyd used to do. Box the shit out you and then put you to fucking sleep. That's why it's like, bro, stop talking to me about these new niggas being Floyd, because they don't. It's a tale of two Floyds. You want to be the Floyd after he made the business decision to protect his hands and stuff like that. But the first Floyd, oh, you'll never be that dude.
You gave him a way out. You gave him a way out. And see, now they're gonna say, yeah, he's moving like that because he want to protect his. You know, he got fragile phalanges. You know.
Yeah.
That's why he didn't want to see this guy right here. This is why he didn't take that B-side offer. So that's the other thing. That's the other common denominator, AC. Both of these guys
can sell it, but that shit, listen, nobody buying it, man.
Look, both of these guys rejected offers from the B-side. And we always be talking about, oh man, you can always make an offer and all this and all that, blah, blah. Both of these guys. Now you tell me. Now this is going to tell me everything about you as a fan. You don't got to answer this in the comment section. If you bold enough to silence his consent, I want you to be truthful. Rolly sent that man an offer. The very first thing Devin said was it was a decent offer. He said the money was right, and we're gonna continue to, I guess, negotiate. I'm like, I don't know what y'all negotiating about now. What y'all on glove size, or y'all gonna wear winnings, or what? Like I don't know, Venoms or what? I mean, what y'all gonna bring ties? What? Who gonna come out first, second? Like what we talking about? That's all we thought. It was gonna be the little particulars. Like everything is like, okay, in principle we agree, we gonna get this thing on. Only to come around and say, nah, man, the money wasn't right. And the venue was changed. We went over, the venue was changed, and this biggest knee pad wearing fan was saying, oh, it was because, yeah, now y'all moving it from New York to Vegas, yeah, y'all gotta pay me more. Based on what? Based on what? So you duck that. Oh, Shocky. This man right here, let's do it proper. Oshaki sent this man an offer, said, I'll get you reinstated as champ at 35. I'll pay the 120 grand, your fees. I'll pick up your tab for you. We can do it in your backyard, which is further evidence because it's according to sources, they saying that that Ford, that's going to be down there. The only thing is you got to see me, and he already cleared it with the WBC. It'll be different because at first they was like, why would he do that? Why would he blah, blah, blah? Why would he go back down to 35? It got extremely quiet. I swear I heard three blind mice pissing on cotton. I swear I heard it. Guess what he did? Shakur came on and said, yeah, I want to go back down to 35 to see more attire. I'm like, oh, where y'all at? Where y'all at, Shakurians? 316 Shakurian 316, man. Thou shalt never show up to defend a valid point that would make thy God dishonorable in the eyes of the congregation. So, and that wasn't a duck. That wasn't a duck. If you had intentions on going back down there, that wasn't a duck. But you'll fight a more attire. But you and Andy Cruz was both over there on Matchroom, and there was no, because I was saying the elephant in the Matchroom, why we didn't get Boots and Conor Ben or Shakur and Cruz, because we was gonna never get Cruz and Keyshawn, because Keyshawn kept saying, what did he do? And the amateurs, y'all talk about the amateurs, even though that's the very premise, the impetus for how Devin and Ryan got to their big fight. Like, but when it comes to certain guys, it never makes sense. And they'll try to say, this the other thing, this the newest thing right here. Man, this is a done deal, shit about to get real. People are running around talking about this is a 50-50 fight. Now, I understand, if you jacking for your boy, I understand that coming from somebody that rock with Ray Ford in the Brat Pack. I understand that. Well, not really the Brat Pack. But if you rock with Ray, because I rock with Ray. Ray was in my boxes to watch. He was the Cobra. And then I was like, he ain't the same. He kind of changed. You know, he ain't letting his hands go. Like, no, I like the Ray that used to let his hands go. Punches and bunches. He in his video on my channel, he hit dude with like a 21 piece. A 21 piece. They saying this is a 50-50 fight. Now I'm like, okay, cool. Let's talk about it. But see, we always get into these places, right, where they act like they want to talk about boxing, and then they'll say some shit like that, and they don't never break it down. They don't never come around to how, because all this is opinionated. We can agree, just like I could say, dare I say, like this. I can say that. This is an opinion. You can say that. If you want to say it's 50-50, that's an opinion. But I want to say, how do you come to that? See, the difference is, when I say, dare I say, I gave a conclusion. I put in some work. I showed some evidence as to why I think this could possibly be. Am I leaning towards Boots? Yes. But this could possibly be 50-50. Why? I give my reason and rationale behind it. When it comes down to this, I don't hear nothing. Except for somebody that know that he's part of the Blue Notes. Keyshawn, Shakur, and Ray. The extended Brat Pack family. They're just saying that. And I'm like, based on what? O'Shaquie already said it. O'Shaquie told Fulton the same thing. And also, he had already checked Ray Ford and saying, listen, man, I don't know who this guy been fighting. Ranked where? Who? He's like, everybody I fought, they've been ranked in the top 10, top 5. Back to back to back. He got pickpocketed and went and got it right back. Ray Ford lost to Nick Ball. Nick Ball has a couple fights and then gets knocked out by Figueroa. Figueroa got beat twice by Fulton. I know this is somewhat of a triangle, but listen to this. One of the reasons why I was never so big on Figueroa is because he was the most hit. Now, you got to think about the Navarates of the world. You got to think about the Jared Hurds of the world when he was still lacing them up. He was the most hit boxer, statistics-wise. So Nick Ball, take your strap. He goes on, have a couple fights and gets knocked out by Figueroa. Stephen Fulton styled on Figueroa twice. I think Figueroa won the first one. That's just my opinion. The second one, he styled on him. He rejuvenated me about him. And then he got hands and feet put all over him by this guy. We got a classic belt to ass in that situation. You know what Shakur came on and said? Oh man, we all knew that smaller guy moving up and this and this. But this is a fun fact. O'Shaquie Foster is taller than Shakur, and he has a longer reach than Shakur. And he's ambidextrous. He also said, fuck it. If you want to do it at 40, I'll go to 40. You know what we heard? Them same 3 blind mice pissing on cotton. Nothing. Crickets. But there's nobody that's going to hold none of these people to the standard. You just going to have a bunch of people that's using Tank name, putting this thumbnail up, trying to make it seem like everything revolve around Tank and all this and all that. And whenever Shakur, oh, I like Shakur, and this, and just flip-flop, just to try to keep that market share. Fuck that market share if that market share don't want to be true. If they don't want to speak the truth, if they don't want to keep it real, if they don't want to go by the standards they hold everybody else to, why do we let Shakur get away with it? Why do we let Devin get away with what he's doing? It don't make no sense to me. I just comprehensively told y'all how Devin moving, how Shakur moving, and how we always get this recency bias. But when it come to Tank, we be sitting around looking like Tyrone Biggums. It don't be the same energy. And now your boy Shakur want to fight Ryan. He back to this catch weight 144 shit again, but with Devin of all people. With Devin of all people. If asking for a handicap was a person, that be Shakur.
So I just have this question. Well, not really a question, but an observation. Conor Benn comes out, I think right before his fight or whatever, and he was asked about situations, and he was like, Shakur never wanted to fight. He was like, first you approached me, to say you wanted to fight me at 54, then it's a catch weight, then I step in the ring with you, and we supposed to do it at 47, and now it's a rehydration. You just never wanted to fight. So the question then becomes like, okay, did Conor Benn and nobody wanted to like really cook on that, because it was, let's see what Conor Benn does with Regis, and that's something I think that should be revisited. The fact that Conor Benn just exposed the shit out of you. You came at Conor Benn just slinging pasta. Why did you come to Ariel Helwani's show to sit down next to that man and said, I'll fight you at 54? Now I don't need nothing. It's skills that pay the bill. It's skills that pay the bills. That's why I know I'm gonna beat you. I don't care how big you are. I'll go up to 54. And then it's this, and then it's that, and it's all of these, open to the media negotiations. Like, we're supposed to decide, okay, we're gonna be interim lawyers and deal with the negotiations between Conor Benn and Shakur Stevenson. No. Why would we do that? When we have examples of fights that we didn't hear nothing about, we may have heard a rumbling about it, a rumor, or all indications were showing something else was going on, and then boom, this fight happens. Like, what? We're actually getting that? That's crazy. So when the two guys want to fight, I gotta go back to the Tom Brown rule. It's the fighters. If they want to fight, they'll make the fight. If they don't want to fight, they're not gonna make the fight. It's just that simple. What up, AJ?
What up, my guys?
Salute, AJ. But they say it's easy to make a fight when two fighters really want to fight. That's what they say. That's the, and they've proven it. Because think about what Shakur just said. He said, "Yeah, I got on the phone with Chio. We talked about it because he wanted to be in the vein, just like him and Devin tried to recreate that moment in the car that Earl and Bud had, but they was face to face. They be trying to recreate these moments, and that's what he said. Yeah, because we got him. He made it known. Yeah, because I got on the phone. So when you really want to fight somebody, you'll get on the phone. But then when Tank send you an offer, it's like, oh, well, I think maybe he left a note or some roses or some cherries or something for my secretary. Come on, man. But what's up, AJ?
Ain't nothing,
What's on your mind, man? Salute.
Nah, I ain't been on here in a while, but y'all ain't missed a beat. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, I've been listening, and it's pretty much what it is, man. Can't cut this crap like that, man. Cause it's something you said earlier that's totally, like, just 100% correct. Like, how, when it comes to Tank, y'all put the A side all on him. And I know I'm the B side, so I just want to fight and prove I'm great. I know I'm the B side, so all you gotta do is contact me. Fast forward to when he contacts you in the interview in the camera looking bad, like bad. They contacted me, but I never heard anything back at it. Yeah, cause that's how fights get made, bro. They don't get made on social media. It goes back and forth. Like I think the last show I told y'all, that's what Corey Spinks and
Zab.
what Corey Spinks and Zab
Zab.
Peter was talking about. Oh my bad, you got something to say about it.
No. I was saying Zab, but go ahead.
Oh yeah. They said when we went to fight, the manager asked if you want to fight such and such. Yes. He sent something back. They sent something. They read it, looked over it, sent it back, then sent it back, then sent it back. You know, and then he set up the press conference. Well, with Shakur, it didn't get that far because he didn't want to fight, bro. He said, "Oh, they was offering a multi." Whoa, Steven Espinosa said he wanted a multi-fight deal, but I thought he just wanted to fight Tank. I thought he wanted to be great. Who else is on that roster that you want to fight? That you like? I don't get it. Like who else? Like, do you want to be with PBC? Because
No, but remember, this the thing. Hold on.
Oh, you good? Yeah. Take your time.
This the thing. I got choked up trying to get it out. This the thing. It was the time when they were talking to Tank. They was like, man, that dude, what's that dude name? They was like, they was like, yeah, tell him fight that dude. You know what I'm saying? They roasted Tank for saying that, right? But it's a known thing where they saying, okay, Espinosa clarified and said, no, Tank and them were looking for a one-off, a smash and dash, a grab and go. You wanted a multi-fight deal, but that'll be cool if that was going to be De Los Santos. But every time they brought up De Los Santos, they're like, for what? I beat him with a bad hand. But Tank got a rematch. But at one point in time, we could not hear enough of how Tank had to rematch Pitbull. I'm like, man, I don't want to see that shit again, man. Come on, man. Like, blah. Oh, there you go, protecting them. But like, this is what I be trying to say as far as the code. Like, so you wanted a multi-fight deal, but you didn't want to do De Los Santos when De Los Santos was over there, which would have made perfectly sense. You go ahead and, you know what I'm saying, clear that up. What happened with De Los Santos? Because that was an anomaly, y'all. You got to go back and look at that fight. Don't just look at CompuBox. You can look at CompuBox, but then go back and look at that fight. Go look at all that body work De Los Santos was doing. Listen, and then turn it off because Tim Bradley he had extra glaze on that day. Go look at that fight. That's the perfect fight for a rematch. But you didn't want that. But you wanted a multi-fight deal. With who over there? Probably what, Pitbull? Because you've been slowly trying to get around and fighting Pitbull, and none of your people hold you accountable because they saying Tank might rematch him, and they like, oh, no. But they going to allow you to go fight Pitbull. But Tank don't fight nobody. Like, y'all trapped.
And another thing, people say, "Oh, Tank not confident." He know, like Timothy be saying, or anybody else, he just don't believe in his abilities like his fans do and all that. So why did Tank want a one-fight deal with Shakur? That sounds like, let me dust this nigga off real fast, get my money and dip, and on to the next. This man, that's hey, call it what you want. That's kind of like security. It's either he's gonna fight somebody before Tank, or he wanted to fight, some stability because his stock may go down. But he actually clowned, and the rest of the boxing world clowned Tank when he said he had a 6-fight deal, and Shakur kept saying, "Well, how am I the last one on there? I hope what number am I on there?" Bro, they hit you up, bro. A 6-fight deal don't mean, hey, you gonna fight this person, you gonna fight this. No, a 6-fight deal means whoever fill that void, That's who we gonna fight. We're gonna give you names. You want Shakur? Let's go try to get that. This man ducked, bro. And you don't hit, bro. I give somebody $100. I got it. Cash that. Tell me a content creator, a YouTube page who even covered that. I didn't see nobody talk about that, bro. And when they did, it was when Stephen Espinoza was with Shakur on Play in the Morning, and they try to say, "Oh, hey, he always lying." Bro, how is a executive, a lawyer, lying? How? Why would you call that man a liar? Why would he lie about something like that, bro? Then Shakur will say, "Well, would Bob say this? What would Bob say?" Man, that's what I say. I don't know what he'd say because Bob, you know how Bob is. They say anything to you dummy. And then the crazy part is Bob did say something. He said, "Why would I make Tank Brick when I got fighters over here we can make fights with?"
Yep.
Verbatim. That's what he
Yep.
said. So Shakur plays a lot of games because he's seen his so-called celebrity fans that he wants so bad. He was around them, and he probably was hot. You know when you get nervous and all that, you get the hot seat. He got hot right there, so he had to make it seem like a established man who's been in boxing for a long time. Made him seem like he was a clown, and they basically was on there like, not directly, but kind of like trying to play Espinoza out position. It was like he was the only one on there that would have some sense. All the rest of them was just following Shakur because he had the smile on and the fake shit. All that shit fake, bro. Like, he know damn well he got that fight. Now he on the interview talking about, yes, I'm willing to make this Tank fight now. Is he? Like, is he, bro? Like, no, you not. You they trying to keep them olds, bro. Them olds is important to them. They don't want to be like Ryan or any other rest of the greats who lost. If you lose, bro. If Earl loses his next fight off a bid, what the fuck is that even mean? He's gonna fight again, probably. Unless it's not bad, too bad. You feel me? If it's not bad, he's gonna fight again. Deontay Wilder got his ass knocked out twice and still for it. Like, come on, bro. Like, y'all, they think, is what these fans care about. And I'm talking about like the black community that they want so bad. And another point I want to point out that y'all broke it down so eloquently. But the thing about the the on code, like, I was watching this documentary. It was a year or two ago, and it ain't had nothing to do with boxing, but it basically brought up the Muhammad Ali, Joe Louis comparison. How they say Joe Louis was quiet and he wasn't loud. He had not in white boys out, but you think about the times they was in, like what white person you want to see getting what white crowd would want to see another white man get knocked the fuck out. You feel me?
Yeah.
So he was like, more quieter with it. Like like a little not timid, but like just soft spoken and all that. Easy to get along, basically. But Muhammad Ali, or you could say Jack Johnson, they made that shit bad for him. Like, hey, I'm ready to get in here and whip his ass, bro. I don't give a fuck about none of that. I'm gonna talk about it too. Like, they don't like them types. That's why I compare it like to the PBC and the top rank guys. And Bird and Tank, right? Both of them are quiet. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when it comes to Bird, when he talks for both the media, the machine. He talks for them, but he every now and then he be trying to sneak, like he so stand up and don't stand for shit. He try to sneak that in there just so he can have both crowds. You know what I'm saying? But for years he's been trashing Earl like a dude. But he try to speak for both because he don't want to lose that black fan base or whatever. But Tank's the same way. He quiet, but when Tank talk, you could tell even though he might not got all the sense in the world, he know what the fuck is going on. You feel me? He like, yeah, y'all on some bullshit. Like y'all claim y'all want big fights, but y'all don't never put the pressure on the other fighters. Y'all dick eat. And it's sad, it's a real bad dick eat, not a regular one. It's like y'all don't like Tank that much that y'all gotta make the other bosses say shit like this. Like Ryan got his ass sat the fuck down, damn near shit on himself by Tank. But I'm guarantee you, he got paid to just say, "Oh, Tank don't want to fight the back." Bro, he just fought you, beat you, and you got knocked out or beat up by the nigga you beat again. That means they're getting paid to say these things, bro, or coach, I should say. They're getting coached. Because for Devin to say, "Oh, he's an underachiever," that sounds like somebody wrote that down or coached him to say that on air. Like, come on, bro, how is he an underachiever?
It
Like,
is.
like,
It is because what Ryan said doubled down on what Devin said. When Devin said he was an underachiever, and then Ryan said he don't fight nobody. But I'm like, okay, you just now established yourself by getting the strap off of a guy who Tank stopped, and he stopped you.
Look, hey,
So
Mike, just like how you was saying,
that triangle has been closed. So it's like, how you gonna say he underachieved? So what the fuck are you?
look, Mike, the shit he was saying about the echo chamber when they kept saying everybody kept saying Tank fumbled the bag. Where did they get that
Yeah.
from, bro? Where's they getting this shit from? Somebody is telling them to echo that shit out there. Oh, he fumbled the bag. He fumbled the bag. Oh, he's an underachiever. Oh,
When I
he
heard
don't
Brian
fight
Custer
nobody.
say it, when I heard Custer say it, I said, "Oh man, it's bad."
Yeah, it's the echo chamber, bro.
But I wanted to acknowledge that D Calico up here though. Salute to D
what's up, D
Calico.
Calico, OG?
I don't know. Keep cooking till Calico come back.
Oh yeah, that's basically it. Like, yeah, it's definitely an on cold thing going on, and I had to bring that comparison out because that's, to me, that's what I was saying. I said
Mike
Bird
check.
and Tank, but it was Earl and Bird too. One represented one represented the other. Two live. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit crazy, man.
Yeah, I hear you, D Calico. Yeah, it is.
Mike check. I'm
Yeah,
in building.
we can hear you. We can hear you. What's up, D Calico? Salute.
What's going on? Peace to the gods. Y'all already know, man. I mean, it's hard for me to hate on these black fighters, man. I love them. You feel me? So I be seeing the greatness that's being accomplished. You know what I mean? But hold on one second. My bad, y'all. Y'all with me?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So, you know, like me personally, I'm in awe of all the greatness they doing. But for some reason, the fighters are not, you know, admirable about one another. You feel me? For some reason, the likes of Devin Haney, it's almost like saying, okay, you got upgraded. You feel me? You ahead of the curve. But why should you look down on the kid that's in his right grade and he gets straight A's? The kid got straight A's, he knocking this shit out the park. You feel me? So I wouldn't recommend that a young guy, just because you upgraded, to come up here and talk smack to the big dogs. You feel me? And it's kind of like what's happening. You feel me? You know Haney gonna take on the role of Bill eventually. You feel me? And it's a naggy kind of thing. And I think only Bill can do it right. Haney should just be Haney. You feel me? Like that's that's probably his the thing I could downplay him the most about is how he downplays his opponents. You feel me? Like, even if these guys don't have a resume, acknowledge that you're going against an awesome talented or skilled fighter, I don't think the resume is gonna take away or give them any skills they don't already possess. You feel me? But Tank's resume is steady, making itself great. Because even though he's knocking them out, he's not knocking them out of the sport because he is fighting them young. He's not fighting old guys like Fundora. You know what I mean? He's not getting guys on their last leg where there will be no more of this fighter after him. No, Tank is fighting young guys that are dangerous, and that's why he fight them, because they're great prospects, which are future dangerous fights. So he knock it out early. He gonna be the first person to get rid of this motherfucker. And people, I don't know, man. They're not giving Tank his credit, but everybody he fought has become champion, even Ryan Garcia now. So,
but go ahead, finish up. I got a question now.
Can you go ahead, brother? I'm with you.
Okay, so this is what I'm saying. I'm with it. I'm with it on code. Like, see me, you got to know when you come to the channel, especially if you heard like 5 shows. Do you know I got respect for these guys? It's like you can't deny that I don't have respect, and I want to see them. If they come from the same environment, like a lot of these guys have, such as myself, then I want to see you succeed. I don't like when it's used after you do some funny behavior. Like okay, I'll use one of my guys, somebody that a lot of people don't particularly care for. Let's say Richardson Hitchens. As hard as it was for me, because I already know what it is with him, I already know a lot of the things he's up against just because of, one major thing in particular, which is crazy to me. Like, I couldn't condone, because I want him to be successful, that I'm just going to ignore that he just ducked the shit out of Duarte. Like, so when it come down to Devin, I don't like when people, because it's almost like that's used like a guilt trip on people. And I don't like that, because I don't guilt trip people, and but that's what it's like when someone says, oh man, well come on, because I heard a lot of this with the Devin. I don't understand why Devin gets so much hate. It's like, okay, so he had to get caught up in litigation and get banned from the Garden for you just now to understand. And that's not the only thing, because when it comes down to these people getting arrested and locked up, they all be getting into their whatevers. I bet you I could show you a tape of Tank, and I could show you a tape of Shakur doing, 2 things on camera. But you act like Tank was the one that actually punched the broad. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the Dana thing. You know what I'm saying? We don't do it. So it'd be different. But like when it comes down to Devin, it's like, why he gets so much hate? It's like, man, some of that stuff be brought upon him. And then when I don't focus on it, because I said it a while ago, I said, man, he had like the #1 toxic fan base because of the stuff that they do. And it was their way to make him bubble and blow. It's good for him and his notoriety, but it's bad for the community. Because you make this into some like gang stuff to where it's like, man, we want like Bloods and like we want both sides. We got cousins and family everywhere. So we want them all to do good. But we got to call out the BS when they're doing BS. Like Devin, this is the last one I'm gonna say. I'm gonna land right here. Devin, the first thing he said about this Rolly thing, the first thing he said was the money was decent, and yeah, we just gotta, work out a couple little blah 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 to end it. Like after all of that stuff, it didn't go as long as Virgil in Boots. You know what I'm saying? Thanks to the universe. But he came around and said the money wasn't right. So I don't like hearing some on cold shit when I'm getting down to the nuts and bolts, because I'm not even salacious like I don't be talking about Carissa and Pap and what they doing and all this drama. I don't do that. We keep it boxing. We talk about the moves. So I don't like when people use on cold to justify the bullshit.
Like why you turned down the Rolly fight, right? As far as the contract goes, you know why, right? As far as how he wasn't guaranteed nothing. Like Rolly would have received the first $6 million profited. Him and his team. And then after that, Haney can get upwards of 50% and shit like that.
Yeah, because
it's kind of crazy.
No,
but Rolly don't sell.
No, but here's the issue though. Neither does Dev. But here's the issue: um, when you when you take on a role to say DHP Promotions, right? And now you have that opportunity within DHP Promotion. There came a buy-in fee. You're going in with this. I'm going in with this. No matter what you do, what business venture you go into, if you're dealing with your traditional cookie cutter standards, it's this word that they use: skin in the game, collateral. This is what you have to buy, and what are you putting up to settle the insurance for this large venue and other things that are the most proprietary over everything else? Because let's say someone get injured, God forbid, or someone has an event, God forbid, we need that insurance to cover all of that. And part of that original buy-in price was to cover that, to cover the venue. The network got you. You feel what I'm saying? It wasn't a matter of networks or where it was going to be seen. You know what I'm saying? Prime would have been happy to put that fight on with Devin Haney versus Rolly Romero. You feel me? Rolly may not sell the big numbers, but he knows how to sell a fight. You know, and that's where you got to give him his credit. Also within that space, if you're gonna also assume the role of promotions and say this is under DHP Promotions and this is where we're making our stand and announcing that we're ready to like start to put on shows or really co-sponsor a show and things like that, then for you to pull out because of that reason, it tells everybody you're not the promotional company you were trying to tell us. You're just a bullshit LLC that only uses it for tax purposes. You don't have the leverage to put on the show and take the put that weight on your shoulder and say, listen, I bought into the show. I put my own money up, and I'm gonna show up and show out for this motherfucker right here because my money's on the line as well. You know, so at the end of the day, it was kind of exposed like, damn, Dev, I'm a fan of yours, bro. I mean, that's an ingenious way to get out of it to a certain degree, because unless you really, really know the details, the shit will make sense like, bang, right off the bat. Oh, he was DHP Promotions and they trying to rob him out of his money. No, they weren't. You just had a buy-in fee. And that buy-in fee goes to certain things and stuff like that. You still were gonna get your guarantee, but the money you wanted off the back of that and how you may have negotiated your fee within the scope of being a co-promotion to this, maybe it was all tied up legally and there's nothing you can do about it that says, okay, everyone that's not directly involved in the promotions, they have to be paid first. You guys get paid after the fact.
Let me just interject this thing though, because you cooking on that, but it'd be different if there were cases where we heard like, but nobody, I don't hear nobody. I don't ever hear nobody complain about getting paid. And plus that was a soft landing because that was y'all like in the same, that was a cousin to some of the things that Bud did when he went over there, wanting to turn over books and do all this. And it's like, okay, if you were a Canelo, maybe. You know what I'm saying? But like, come on, to act like, and then you got to look at them, they coming off their best performances. And it's a thing in business called skin in the game. When you claim you part of the big boys or whatever, they want you to have skin in the game. That mean like, I can't be like, hey, AC, we about to flip this house, you know, and when we do this, there, I'm paying 65 for it, and then we're going to split, after I get the 65 back, we're going to split 130. And it's like, all right, this is what we're gonna need for materials. I gotta get this, you know, you gotta outline all those things in the beginning. And if we going halvesies in order to make a profit, AC be like, nah, I ain't doing all that. It's like, okay, so why would I bring you along? Because I just came off of beating Ryan. Ryan got lit by his next fight beating fucking Barrio, so I'm super lit. You just beat the boogeyman and Brian Norman. What the fuck are we talking about? Money? Like, you don't believe in yourself at all? You think they're gonna do that shit for free? Like to say it was the money. I don't know, bro.
Yeah, to me, it's no different than the Ryan and Rolly fight. It would have never happened without Turkey Al-Sheikh.
Yeah,
but the fact that the offer was done and sent over there, and the first thing he said was the money was good. Nobody, where are all the videos about what happened between? No, like the first thing he said was the money was good. Like we can't. That's what I be trying to say, man. We can't let that slide, bro.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is the fact of this. If Dev and his pops really want to get in that lane, and I understand from a business perspective, you find out that, okay, I thought, yada, 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 and my name carried enough weight like a licensing deal to find out DHP is part of it. Much like Trump, much like Mr. Wonderful, much like many of these people on Shark Tank offer some of these deals. They're just licensing deals. To some, if you're not savvy in it, in a licensing deal, you might find yourself as a paid employee of your own company with no leverage. But what I'm saying is this, in the fact of how Devin wants to get into this thing, go reach out and talk to a person like the Roach family, like Lamont Roach and his pops, because they put on full cards that they sell to that they pretty much sell to pro box. And if
they might do one this weekend.
Yeah, so and if the card is chunky enough and good enough, pro box so put in some stuff just to put some meat and potatoes to it, and boom, that's a whole fucking card that basically the Roach family put together on that low level scale. So they're preparing themselves to, whereas when Lamont gets to that big place that he may be trying to get to, maybe that's why he's getting a little Hollywood. If he gets to that place, then he automatically knows how to market and maximize his money off of every show that he's involved in. I'm a real promoter. My family's a real promoter. We know how to work this shit. And that's what I'm saying. That there's nothing wrong with Dev failing miserably the first time. You know what I'm saying? And being called out for it. But at the end of the day, those of us who are in that business space and know about shit like that, and then pretty much also saw I forgot the white guy's name, who pretty much, is like, yeah, my family does promotional deals and yada, yada, yada. And Dev is not a promoter like that, because that's the vibe.
You talking about Lamana?
Yeah. So,
but the thing is, okay, so let me interject this, because you bring up something. This wouldn't be the first time, bro. The Devin and Regis thing, when he did it out there on his side, it didn't do, like, it wasn't, you know what I'm saying? And then when you look at what he did with Loma, like, the fact of the matter is, man, you could say that, but like, I don't like, because we can't pick and choose when we want to say, oh man, like, we question the PBC and the money thing. Like, because outside of people who done blew their money doing God knows what, drinking it, gambling, like whatever they into, like no matter what, but I ain't heard nobody from PBC complaining. So the deal was like, that's crazy to think that they just gonna rake you over the coals all of a sudden because you Devin Haney. No, because if you do what you do, you promote the fight the way you normally do, let Rolly and them do it, and it's a PBC production, you are going to make out like a fat rat. And this is the elephant in the room. It's a unification. Like, that's the big thing. It's a unification. So what are we talking about? You didn't want to do Ryan. The first thing you said, just like Shakur, was some testing. It's like, well, he got the belt. He got to be tested. That's duck language. That is not appropriate, bro. And when the time when we finally get a B-side that sends something over there, where the first thing we hear is, and whenever we ever heard this, where they say, yeah, the money was right, the first thing that they say, we ain't never heard that be the first thing that they say, bro. Like, we can't, man. I understand, rooting and saying this, but nah, we can't have no rose-colored glasses on with this, man. Like, we got to be surgical with this shit.
Hey, a lot of champs have never been tested. Like, that ain't what's going on. Like, being a champ might protect you from getting tested if any goddamn thing. Be honest with you.
But even that, you know, that's a slippery slope because you with the snack man. So it's like, okay, I mean, what you didn't have to go play in the sandbox with him the first time. It was a whole bunch of belts on the table that you should have went and got when you went and played in the sandbox with him. But we
Like-
here now.
Like me, I find it hard to believe that a person would go to the feds and get out and play with the feds again. Cause I be asking, do y'all think Big Meat's back booming? Y'all think business back booming for Big Meat on that cocaine? Hell no.
No.
That man ain't that
Hell
stupid.
no.
I don't think nobody play with the feds like that, bro. So if anything, your boy Conte was probably the feds in boxing. Like he didn't do them a rat anyways.
Exactly. He ratted, bro. People forget about that. He ratted.
Like
And
Sugar
got out
Shane
with
said he
that.
only met this motherfucker once. He said it ain't like goddamn it. They had a relationship and Sugar Shane was mad as hell. He said that motherfucker threw me under the bus is what he did. He said I don't even know that motherfucker. He met him no more than twice. Whatever he said in the interview, he said he ain't never met that motherfucker more than twice in his life.
And I get
Hey,
that, but
bro.
so let's eliminate Ryan, okay? Because we went down the PED thing. Let's scratch him because he out the way. We talk about Dev and Rolly now, and he said the same thing about Rolly. That he came out and was like, "Yeah, you gotta be testing. We got to start testing and all." And I'm like, "Bro, what are y'all talking about? Like, I mean, that's like to me, man. That's
you got to keep the same
anybody
energy,
else, man.
You got to keep
That's
that same
duck
energy.
language, bro. Huh?
You got to keep that same energy. You can't just be a Ryan thing. You got to be from now on in life. Like even my boy Wilder, I'm pretty sure he better check all gloves or I guarantee that's why he had a little situation with Chisora, picking out gloves because he's taking it a lot more serious now. This ain't no game no more. It ain't, I don't care what you put on, I'm gonna knock you out. He ain't playing them games no more. You feel me?
Yeah.
So it's just keeping that same energy.
To me, it's just silly as hell because everybody know that's gonna fight Devin know they gotta be tested. So why is that even something that's out in the media? Like when you do it out in the media, you're negotiating in the media, and that means you want us to stay on that point up there. If you know anybody from here on news, I hope they clip this. Whenever you fight Devin Haney, you will be tested. There's no need to get out in the media and make it some big thing. There will be testing. They're gonna be up your ass with a flashlight for 8 to 12, however long y'all to go, 8 to 10 weeks minimum, random. They're gonna pop up at you at the bowling alley. They're gonna go when you go get your teeth cleaned. They're gonna pop up. You know what I'm saying? So let that be known. So let's move on because they did this with the Normans, bro. They did this with the Normans. Remember, Norman had just knocked out Sasaki. He was on vacation. They were like, no, he got to come on vacation right now and start on 365. I'm like, shut the fuck up, bro. Like, they do this with everybody. So now with Rolly, they didn't say nothing about the drugs. So let's take that off of the table. He said the money. When the first thing he said was the money was right. Can't nobody explain this to me, bro. And I ain't never, nobody that fuck with him is even doing no videos discussing this.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. AC and D Calico, bro, they not the regular Devin Haney fans, bro. They not. The regular Devin Haney fans, they wouldn't even, man, they gonna talk about Carissa Shields and Papoose, man. They not gonna talk about this. We sitting up here talking about it. They gonna talk about shit that don't got nothing to do with boxing, nothing. You know that shit not even the headline nowhere. And I look up YouTube, like every now and then I be on YouTube, I look up videos or I put names there. None of that them topics come up because the machine is not built to cover that type stuff. It's built to move on to the next topic, which is whatever you talking about now, which is I'm willing to fight anybody that I don't. You know, he be trying to throw shots at Shakur. Meanwhile, Shakur be trying to dick eat Devin. Shakur be trying to dick eat Devin, but when Devin talks out in the media, he be horning the shit out Shakur, in my opinion. Because Devin tweeted out, I don't need no rehydration cars and none of that. You know, he going at Xander Zayas and all that. he throwing shots at Shakur. Meanwhile, Shakur, and that's the thing. I understand the thing about Devin Haney, but why is Shakur co-signing and trying to dick ride Devin on a point that, oh yeah, I said that too about Ryan. While the fight going on, they talking about PEDs and shit. And he said, while the fight going on, like bro, and that's what I wanted to say. Like I think Devin just used to being, that money that Eddie Hearn blew. He's used to that money. That's what it was. A lot of fighters got spoiled by them unlimited funds that was getting spit out around that 2019, 2020, 2021 era. Like they got used
Yeah,
to
that
that,
first
bro.
billion, Eddie blew through.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
blew that shit, bro.
yeah.
He
Don't
blew
nobody
that
talk
shit.
about that. They don't like, but they talk about the PVC though. But yeah, we
Yeah,
ain't gonna
like
talk about
why
that
do
though.
they always want to open the books and that's not what,
Yeah,
bro?
like when it come down to the black man, so we gonna be on code when it come down to the traditional, even though it ain't might not necessarily be the black man, because we don't know Al, you know what I'm saying? He hopefully, he doing all right, but we don't know. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But like when it comes to the black man, that's why I be saying, so we gonna be on code, then you know what I'm saying? Then why when it comes to the black man, the bliggity black man, why we always gotta get raked over the coals and they gotta bend us over and look, you know what I'm saying, make us cough. Like it
That's
don't
what I'm
sound right,
saying,
bro.
bro. But
It's just a trap, man. It's a trap. It's a
but look,
trap,
look,
y'all.
Mike, look, Mike. Motherfucking, he might sound a little goofy when he's saying it, or he's overly animated and be saying a lot. But Leonard Ellaby was dead ass serious when he was talking about these fighters, bro. And Tank, it applied to Tank, but it applied to the whole endurance. He been telling y'all that these fighters are gonna ask for a lot of money that we not gonna pay because we not ready to overpay y'all and that shit. We not ready to lose money. That's what they was saying. He kept saying that. He said we're not ready to lose money. Not saying they're not gonna make the fight. They was saying they're not gonna lose money like how
Right.
Eddie Hearn was doing. Cause Eddie Hearn, he lost all that money, bro. He blew all that shit on Canelo with them fucking I don't know who he was fighting, bro. After Triple G, it seemed like he was just fighting anybody.
Yeah,
He blew
John
all that shit.
Ryder. He fought John Ryder. Yeah, like
his
that's when he went
sparring
on the
partner.
Jaime Munguia, Berlanga.
Yeah, like I think it's that part of it. Like they think, and even Bud was getting a guarantee every fight he was getting over in top rank. To where though he ain't even give a fuck about none of that shit. So when they got over there, PBC like, hey, look, this is what you gonna be making, bro. Remember Earl said he was cool with what he was getting, just like how Rosie just said it. He said, shit, I'm good when I'm getting. They both said that, bro. But it's always applying with when they come over that.
But see, as businessmen, you already know that it was a difference in the guarantees. So to use that to go over there and do business and be like, oh nah, they doing it this way. It's like no shit, Sherlock. That's the bit. It ain't nobody could Pacquiao ain't complain. I ain't heard nobody over there complain, bro. That's what baffles me, man. People done lost. People done got knocked out. Frank disappeared. We had to do a proof of life for Frank after the Tank fight. What are we talking about, bro?
I'd have to say it like this. Knowing that, and this goes to the point you just said about people talking about the guarantees and stuff like that. So if you're talking about these guarantees, how are they able to put together contracts for Canelo of 50 and 60 to $75 million, $30 million? How does that work? You know what I'm saying? Leonard Ellaby, to go to AJ's point, told people a long time ago, we ain't giving away money. If you're not selling, how can you even come here and try to make a fight with us and demand something? We're giving you your market value. If you don't like it, then don't take the fight. But that don't give you a right to turn around and say, somebody don't want to fight you. And when Leonard was walking down the he was walking, I think I don't remember, it was after somebody's fight. It might have been one of those like when Tank started to get there and he started to become the official mouthpiece for Tank, and I think that's who he was talking about. It might have been at the time the early rumblings of Devin Haney talking about a Tank fight and stuff like that. Just whispers, and Leonard Ellaby and I think it might have been Shakur just let both of them know. Talented, yes, nobody's denying that. Besides that, what else do you bring to the table? You're talking about the guy who's putting asses in seats, selling pay-per-views, selling out stadiums, and you think you can come to him and demand some shit? And I was like, God damn, I ain't never heard a dude just like tell you what it is so directly but so poetically. You feel what I'm saying, with the big aviator shades and shit like that, just looking cool and smooth as hell, just breaking it down like
AC. Not to cut you off, you can keep going, but when he was saying all that, not you, not Calico, but these YouTubers, it was like making their heart drop to their ass, because they was hurt about that, bro. He was saying that.
Yeah,
all that
and
stuff, it was hurting me.
I'm not even gonna lie. Back then when I heard it, I was just looking at Leonard like, yo, you's a ballsy motherfucker, man. God damn, how fucking dare you come out and say some shit like that about a dude that I fucks with? Like, who the fuck do you really think you are to tell the truth like that, nigga? Like, you don't do shit like that. Fuck out of here, bruh. You feel what? I was cursing Leonard Ellaby out on the mere fact that, bruh, you are absolutely right. I can't deny the shit you saying, but I'm more pissed off at the fact that you actually said that shit. You know what I'm saying?
I love Ellaby. Like, I don't think nobody in boxing is a better promoter. You know what I mean? That motherfucker that will make me watch you fight, bro. Like, he never fails with me. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like even Bill Haney got to take a back seat to Leonard Ellaby.
Yeah.
But real talk, what I'm finna say is, I don't think it's a coincidence that it's been 12 months and counting since Rolly last fought. So, you know, he's had discussions with every fucking body. Like you say, from the Pacquiaos and many others, right? And nothing came to fruition. And nobody else spoke out loud about it, so we don't know. But we know nobody can get a fight with Rolly. We know Haney even wanted him back in January with the Shakur and Tio undercard. You know, he was trying to get on that real bad. You know, he didn't want Shakur just to have all the shine. But that didn't work out because Rolly said, I'm not ready to fight yet. And, you know, like I'm saying, long story short, this guy's been in negotiations with people and he hasn't fought a soul. He hasn't fought a soul. He over there sitting with his legs crossed. He glad he got elevated to champion and shit. He trying to use all, well, you know, his team is trying to use all of that, as far as leverage goes. You feel me? And I wouldn't be surprised if they just basically cashing out on Rolly. They're trying to cash out. They're like, hey, Pacquiao, you want to fight? All right. My way or the highway. Devin, you want to fight?
You know, the only thing I would say to that is he got a mandatory. He's on the third generation of mandatory. So it's like the only way he could have really gotten out of that was to fight a big fight. That was it. Like, you know, they didn't play that because Stanionis had that mandatory. When Boots beat him, he got that mandatory. When Boots jumped up and Ryan and, you know what I'm saying, him and Ryan fought, and he got that, then he got, you know what I'm saying? That's how he inherited the mandatory with that gear saw. That's why I don't think it's like people You can say what you want because we was always clowning Rolly. I know I was clowning. I'm like, man, Rolly. Yeah, Tank said he's like the hardest, like puncher. He was saying he was the hardest one, right? But Rolly has progressed, and I don't think people are too eager to get in there. Like you didn't hear Keyshawn, like all them people. He might have said one thing, but like shit, you talking about you going up to fight a champion and all this. I was connecting them dots. I'm like, okay, so but people ain't jumping for joy to try to go fight Rolly. That's the other thing. So to me, I don't know, man, because I think Devin had more Linguini out there than Rolly. And I think PBC was going to try to force that Pacquiao shit. I don't even think, because Rolly didn't even want to do that. Like, Rolly said he didn't even really want to do it. Didn't he say Pacquiao asked for too much? Like, he was one, Pacquiao, but I mean, he used to getting a certain bag. So, I don't know, man, because he had the Giasov thing. He going to have to fight that dude. He just happened to get a fight with thinking that this Devin thing was going to go through. He went ahead and got busy. I think he getting ready to fight Catterall. But he would have had to face that or fight a big fight. It was either or. So I don't know, man. I think I don't know, man. I don't know. I think Rolly has progressed and people are not eager to get in there with him.
Yeah, I'm seeing that same vein because it's what I'm gonna say is I'm partly clowning him, but I'm also being deadly serious. Rolly did a couple of things that sent a scary message to the division. That's number one. You outboxed Ryan Garcia, and Ryan Garcia wasn't flat like Barrios. I wouldn't even say Barrios was flat. Ryan took that fight away from him. You know what I'm saying? Tio was flat. So in that fight, they could say what they want, but Rolly took the fight out of Ryan Garcia, just like Ryan took the fight out of Barrios. That's just the way I saw it. That's something that sent a message. If you want to send a message, yeah, you can go ahead and knock somebody out, but then it's always, well, you know, Rolly got power. You know what I'm saying? But to outbox him, outpoint him, that was the message. Like, you did that. Then we're seeing interviews where you're surreal, you're calm, you're collected. It's not the Rolly that would have spoke when you go back to him versus Tank. Always was talking shit, always making some outrageous statement. This is not that Rolly. He's calculated in what he's saying. Shit, the motherfucker was doing math. And to know that Rolly can outpoint somebody and he knows math, bro, we could be easily looking at the boogeyman of 47. The guy that we can honestly say went after people and they all turned him down. And or stopped. Big names.
Look, I think Mayorga, man. Mayorga, this is like, I think this might be our Mayorga. You know what I'm saying? You think about Mayorga and some of the names he beat and what he was able to do with certain people. Not everybody, but like, you know what I'm saying? This is our modern day Mayorga. In my opinion.
No, that's disrespectful to Mayorga, even though he smoked cigarettes and drank beer.
I mean, you know, not like, you know what I'm saying? Not
I feel what you're saying, but not really. Rolly gonna lose this mandatory, man. Like, there's no way. I don't care who that guy is. If he's a 147-pound man, he's going to whoop Rolly. If they put Alexis Rocha in that motherfucker, he gonna whoop Rolly. If they put Blair Cobbs, it'll be a draw. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like,
I actually got Rolly. I got Rolly beating Giasov.
Got to be a hoop.
I mean,
I don't know. I don't know. It's 50-50 to me.
It's a 50-50 fight, but I'm leaning towards Rolly. I got Rolly to beat him. I think Rolly's gonna come out. I like the new turn in Rolly. This is something special. The reason why the reason why I'm leaning towards what I'm saying is because to be a kickboxer, you have to be a different and special kind of athlete. You know what I'm saying? There are two types of jabs. You could throw the jab with your foot, or you could throw the jab with your thrust or teeth. And if you're nice with it, and I've never seen Rolly's stuff, but I heard he's nice with it. You know what I'm saying? So that tells me you're a special type of athlete. I think where a lot of people sleep on him is that Rolly who came into the game. You weren't taking things serious. You were relying on that power and that athleticism that you brought into the game coming from that other discipline. Now that you've seen there's techniques involved. You can beat other guys just using your athleticism, but some of these younger dudes who have backgrounds in the Olympics and extensive amateur careers, they have technique, and their technique on paper will always beat your athleticism. So
Yeah. See, the thing about a kickboxer, I feel like a kickboxer in boxing would feel handicapped, you know, because he might be used to doing the 1-2, finishing it with a high kick, you know,
yeah,
or some knee strike, or he's gonna use a strike with his leg. So you feel like you missing and not utilizing so much when you got that going through your mind while you trying to just be a boxer.
so
You
I'm
feel me?
I'm a person who came from that dynamic. I went to martial arts school first, and then then I started messing around in boxing. I wasn't no pro. I only fought in my PAL. I had probably like 3, maybe 4 fights. What I found, and I asked this of Joseph Brown, as well, was this: was it does does the fact that you have this discipline, did that make you a natural switch hitter? Because it made me a natural switch hitter.
Yeah, me too.
Whereas
Because
I would
that's the martial arts way.
Yeah, exactly. So once you make that transition, you have a better understanding of foot placement. What I was gonna ask was this: which one requires more thinking in foot placement? To throw your strikes followed with a kick, or lead with the kick and then throw your strikes? Or just looking for an entrance to get in to someone who's only using their hands just like you?
Yeah, you already know.
See, that's the point I'm saying, because to throw the kick, it requires more energy, and unless you're that Asian chick, you know what I'm saying, that can just hold her leg up and throw that shit out like it's a
Hey, I
jab.
was just watching that, AC.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
nice with it though.
Exactly. Unless you her, you your foot placement is your mind thinks a little bit different in how you prepare your entrances and exits when you have that multidiscipline, and you can mask an exit because you have that natural ability to switch. This is what makes a person like Bud when he creates his exits. When you look at Oshaki Foster when he creates his exit, he looks like he's going one way, but he just backs out of it because he sets you up, the crossover. And that's, to me, what the two disciplines kind of do for you. And I think people who have trained with guys like that, spoke with guys like that are naturally, switch hitters. And Rolly hasn't unfolded that wrinkle yet. I would expect he has it. You know what I'm saying? Unless
And that's why I didn't know I was special. When it come to fighting, like the people that was watching me fight knew before I did. You know what I mean? It's just like football. Like I didn't know I was special. The people watching me knew first, right? So they seen me being able to take a step back and be in a whole different stance. I'm not thinking nothing of it because this is martial arts. This is what we do.
Yeah.
Feel me? And the only thing I would say I brought into boxing other than that was being able to block. Because I don't see a reason to let you hit me unless you can hit me.
Yeah.
You feel me? And I don't just mean stand there and ball up. I'm not going to ball up.
I pulled parries from it.
Yeah.
And hand parries and stuff like that, and timing.
Yes, sir.
Outside of that.
And that Kempo punch. I just bring that Kempo punch with me.
Exactly. You are absolutely right when you were saying others seen it. My pop's best friend was a long-time trainer and stuff like that. You know, he trained a couple of guys that actually fought at the championship level, co-trainers and shit like that. And when he just saw me playing around with my cousins and stuff like that, he was like, "Look, let me come to the gym over here. Let me show you some stuff." So he was showing me some stuff, and he said, "I'm going to tell you a fighter to go see if you could find information about, because if you can master his style, being a natural switch hitter the way you are, and you got long arms, nobody's gonna beat you." And he was like, "Go study Willie Pep, the creator of that W step." And he was like, that's the perfect tool for anyone who's a switch hitter, if you just follow Willie Pep's W. And I was like, wow, he opened my eyes. Since then, it's like a sidestep. Not really. I don't really step to the side. I just constantly make W. So I'm always in different positions, but I stay in front of you.
Hey,
you know?
Hey, I was just gonna add that one thing I definitely brought from basketball, even into a scrap or a ring or whatever, would be that pivot. Huh? Man, stop playing so much. Man, I'm gonna definitely be on the side of you without moving my feet per se. You know what I mean? I don't have to shuffle my feet or, do too much. I'm just gonna pivot and be on the side of you. If you think you're gonna run up on me full throttle, then I'll be standing on the side of you of one pivot. You know what I mean? And then when I hit you, you're gonna think somebody else jumped in the fight. You know how people be, man, y'all jumping me. Nah, ain't nobody jumping you, bro. You feel me? Like that pivot game is something serious, man. Hey, I switch stances out of that same pivot if I have to. You know what I mean? When I take that step back, I can shift it to the other side.
Hey, I got a question real fast. I don't know if it's a hypothetical or not. I ain't really been on the social media, but I've been hearing about it. What would y'all think about that potential matchup of Shakur and Mortala? Because I've been hearing about that.
I think it's a good fight.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
I mean, I don't want to advocate and push for it, because I'm like, if you're gonna go back down there, then you know I'm going, and then you got Abdullah where you saying he need more seasoning. And I'm like, man, these guys just get to pick and choose. Bro? But he's better than Zepeda. Mortala, that's a dangerous fight.
Hey, like I was gonna put all the pictures on the screen together, right? The same way we need to do the Shakur's, and if I'm not mistaken, Daniel Dubois had on them same glasses at the weigh-in in Saudi. I'm gonna check if he had on the dark winged ducks, right? But what I was just finna say, we just saw recently Keith Thurman, right? We saw his face after the fight, raccoon eyes. We saw Regis Prograis after the fight, raccoon eyes. I could throw Tio in there too. Tio, raccoon eyes. Murataya had motherfucking raccoon eyes after he got out of that scrap with Andy Cruz, and Andy Cruz didn't get a nod. It was a split decision. I mean, that's the best thing I could say for him. But the guy didn't get the victory that I feel like he deserved, because it should be about skill. It shouldn't be about the fact, oh, he didn't have the power to stop him from coming forward. Because I guarantee Shakur doesn't either, and they're still gonna award Shakur like a champion. They're gonna say, well, he nullified everything he did and tried to do. You know, he just didn't have the power to stop the guy. The guy has heart. Let's just give it up to Muay Thai. But he lost because he couldn't outskill Andy Cruz. So how is he gonna outskill Shakur? He's not. He's gonna do the exact same thing. They're just gonna award Shakur the way they should have awarded Andy Cruz.
But the thing is, Muay Thai has gained the experience of going against an Andy Cruz now, so you gotta account for that. And he's more accurate, and he goes to the body, which is Shakur's weakness. That's a dangerous fight to me. Like, yeah, I would. You put a gun to my head, I'm gonna say, yeah, Shakur won't probably do what he do, but I don't think Muay Thai gonna let him. And he got Robert Garcia in this corner, because I was talking about that too. We done heard Wally, hey man, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead, get rid of this dude. Stop playing with this dude, man. I am. I'm about to stop this dude.
Hey, just like hard. Some people can't, like just like some people, like let's say Keith Thurman, some people cannot beat a taller fighter, right? They don't have the skills. Well, I don't think Shakur would let. I don't think Shakur would let a TO size man beat him. You know what I mean? Or really give
bigger than Tio. Muay Thai big as shit. Muay Thai him and Tito should be going at it. Yeah, Muay Thai is big, man.
Oh, I gotta really check him out, because it seems like Cruz is bigger than him.
He is bigger than
him. He a big 35. You gotta see his back, man. They were talking about he was going to 40, man. That's you know, he due for 40 though. Yeah, I mean, Tio, he ain't gonna be down there that long.
Like, Tio, like, I don't know. It's like he lost a lot of muscle frame, and I don't know what's up with him, but it's like he been stressing over the years. Tio been stressing about a lot of stuff, bro. Yeah, Muay Thai, like, I just even seen a video of him on Instagram. Like, yeah, he not little. Like the thing about smaller fighters with Shakur, like, he wanna play that, oh, I'm small too type shit, but he not. He not. He wanna be small, and that's sad that you wanna be something you're not. But Shakur wanna be small. I think Muay Thai, like, he got the bodywork, like Bodywork said. So you know, even if he loses, he wanna make it a fight which Shakur needs. He don't need them pretty ass fights, cause nobody don't wanna. I'm sorry, but like, it's like nobody don't want to. It's crazy to say it, but nobody don't want to see that. Like, even though he beat Tio, how much buzz it had since he beat Tio? He had to go on podcast after podcast to keep his hype up, cause that's nobody don't want to see no easy ass one bad step back fight. They don't want to see that. If you want to be in a big fight and advertise it as much, it got to be like some type of war type of. You know, like pushback, not no somebody that come in there to lay down like Tio did and collect the check. Like, I think somebody that's not known, nobody that know, because they don't know him. A lot of people don't know him. That'll be a good fight for Shakur. But Shakur, see, in my opinion, he's trying to run from them type of fights and fight lucrative. Like how he keeps saying, I want to fight the lucrative fight. Yeah, the easy, big money fight. Yeah, we already know. But you gotta, in between, you gotta fight dumb, unknown motherfuckers. I don't mean no harm, but your name ain't gonna pop, because if you can make a star out of somebody, then your name gonna be popping even more. Hey, you gonna be like, oh yeah, Muay Thai, yeah, he gave him a good fight.
Where
the court don't want that. He wanna look pretty.
The proof in the pudding is that if you are that guy the way the media is selling you, you don't have to be so selective with these dance partners. There's plenty of smoke, and you the A side. A side, pick somebody and dance. Like, what are we waiting for? It's like it's Stevie Wonder can see what's going on.
Exactly. That fight been
See,
the hype around that TO fight been died down, bro. That
see, this
shit
is
gone.
where I'm at with it. Um, I would going into the fight, I would want Morataya to win, but stylistically, Morataya is the perfect candidate to feed into Shakur's narrative. Morataya, where Calico was just saying he felt that Morataya should have lost that fight to Andy Cruz. Some people feel that way. Many people feel that way. When you talk in terms of pure boxing skills, you're going to put Shakur at a much higher level than Andy Cruz. That's what it looks like on the surface. But when you look at the way Andy Cruz and Morataya fought, that's not Shakur Stevenson's style. You know what I'm saying? Andy Cruz fought a hybrid Cuban style. I'm moving, I'm gonna hit you in pockets. And when you look at how Andy Cruz was catching him, he was catching him in a way that was an over and under shot. Shakur doesn't throw those type of punches. You know what I'm saying? So the banana peel may be you thinking the style is actually tailor made for you. To a great deal of argument it is, but you may not have the little nuances within the style to nullify certain things Morataya is going to do. And that's where for me, you kind of have to see it. On paper, you put a gun to my head, I'm probably going to choose Shakur for the win, a close win, but there's signs in this fight stylistically that are going to say there are going to be moments in this fight that's going to be nightmares for Shakur, or nightmarish for Shakur.
Well, I think when you look at it, Raymond Morataya was the first one to get Tevin Farmer, so he had that fight and that under his belt. He just had Andy Cruz. With Shakur coming back down, going up to 40 and coming back down and all that, that'll be the third guy. And Morataya hit harder than Zepeda. He's more accurate than Zepeda. He got better IQ, and this guy was nice in the amateurs too. So he's been around these guys. He knows these guys, and he got Robert Garcia. That's not the easy fight, and that's not something where Shakur. And this the thing. If Shakur wanted to fight you, the A side, make it happen, bro. Like, what are we waiting on? What's popping? If that's what you really wanted to do, but you didn't really want to do that, it just sound good. Just like all these other names you keep attaching yourself to. Now you back to Devin with a catchweight. Like, this segment really was to like put out some accountability check for everybody, man. Like, this on cold stuff, it gotta stop unless we on cold for the truth. We got to be on code for something, and we got to speak to it, man. We can't just let people get past, because I don't like it. I don't like it, man. I don't like when people be saying, oh, man, all y'all look alike or whatever, and I don't like hearing when somebody that look like me be saying that about other people. It's like I keep the same energy, though. So I'm just amazed that one of my guys who's on a hiatus, whatever Tank got going on until he come back, his spot was right for the taking, but it looked like nobody don't want it. You know what I'm saying? It looked like maybe Boots and Xander, they got something. Oshaki and Ray Ford, they're going to do something. There's some fights being made. Puello and Dalton Smith, they're going to get it on. We got Keyshawn and Nia Albright after all that linguini, but I'll take that fight. Full camp, you know what I'm saying? It's some people that's out here doing the thing. Brian Norman getting ready to make an announcement. There's some people that's making some moves, but to me, this is where I'm gonna land, so y'all can land. It's interesting that these guys have just picked the opponents that they got and knocked them off, moved up and knocked them off with all that momentum, and now they being wallflowers. And we're not holding them accountable for ducking 2 B-side offers. for something that they say they want. And I'll land right there.
Hey, Bodywork, Keyshawn say he can take Tank's. Remember he said that? He said I feel like I could take that spot.
Yeah. They not ready. And then that money thing, they know that it was, they know how the market was. They know how the market was when Turkey came, being sugar daddy. Now all them talks, they saying he ain't touching, he ain't even entertaining certain things. I'm like, okay, so what 50 Cent said, you gotta do something, baby. You gotta do something now.
Exactly, bro. See, you can't just put all your eggs in one basket, like the old fan said. Like Shakur, he been real confident over the past couple months, especially at that fight, because he felt like Turkey had, had the machine behind him. You could say what you want. Well, now that's not looking like it, bro. You gonna have to get in that ring. Fuck all that lucrative shit. Nobody don't want to see no easy fights, bro. Where though the one opponent ain't halfway in there, and I emailed that to you. Like how these fighters keep getting, credit for fights that the other fighters like, yeah, I wasn't really into it, and like, come on, bro. T.O. said out his own mouth, like, even looked like it. He put more into his walkout than to the fight. He did all that dancing. You know how much energy it take to dance? Like, come on, bro. Like, it's looking like, and I'm sorry to say, I've been saying this on TikTok a lot, where these big, they call them, I forgot what they call them, but it's these certain, like, hedge funds and all that, buying up all the companies and, making them watered down, like changing the ingredients, like Chick-fil-A and change their chicken, shit like that.
Yeah.
Boxing, it looked like boxing hit it. Oh yeah, the WWE. That's another thing with TKO, the one that owned what's it called? The shit Dana White got.
Zuffa.
Yeah, Zuffa. The TKO shit, how they got wrestling, like just watered down. Ain't no story with it no more. Like all these ingredients getting changed and all that. The chicken different. They don't crunch the same. The pot pies. Like that's what boxing hitting at, bro. Like they want to make like not like boring fights, but like fights where though ain't no real money getting put into it. And they don't gotta pay out as much. It's like getting watered down, bro. I don't want to see no dad want to fight, bro. I don't want to see that. I'm sorry. Call me a casual, or I don't care. Even Santa Sharp, a casual, said it. He said, I don't want to see that shit, man. Like, P.O. could have fucking did something, bro. Something. He made Loma put his hands in his pocket. Whatever you call T.O., he lost the Cambodia there. But he made Loma put his hands in his pocket, bro. He was going to that body. I watched that fight because I had no choice to, because it was a pandemic, I think. Yeah, he made him put his hands in his pocket and all that. He was styling on George Taylor and all that. But when it came to Shakur, he kept lunging in. Knowing Shakur gonna hit him, and then Shakur gonna say, yeah, I watched this fight, and yeah, I knew what to do with T.O. Bud told me what to do with T.O. Well, man, I ain't gonna lie, you ain't had to look at nothing. I could have won that fight. If a nigga keep lunging at me, what you think I'm gonna do to him? Like, come on, bro. Like, I don't want, like, all right, it could be, it's a such thing as a one-sided fight, but when the one-sided fight, usually one guy gets stopped. Like, Shakur got so much big of an ego that he's saying that if Conor been last 12 rounds with him, he'll feel like he ain't doing enough of fair. Like, bro, why talk about stopping somebody when you don't stop the people that you say it's levels above, but below you. It's like is I'm going crazy. He talk like he says that to people that really believe that shit, bro. And I'm like, bro, why even tweet that? You don't stop even even like him and Devin was going back and forth about that shit. Like, yeah, Devin said, yeah, Brian Norman was more game than Theo. And da, da, da. Bro, y'all could have stopped both of them. Fuck did y'all talk about? But y'all, it's not in y'all DNA, and that's fine. But don't get on Twitter and say you could have stopped Conor Ben. Like, yeah, like you could be Conor Ben if you stick to who you are, but to stop him, I don't think you can stop. Like, even though, yeah, Conor Ben some trash, and I don't know if I missed the show y'all talking about that, but I think Conor Ben trash, bro. But if Conor Ben was to fight Shakur, bro, and Shakur tried to stop him, like that would feed right into what he trying to do. 'Cause he do kind of hit hard, bro. Like I ain't gonna say he don't hit hard. He just like kind of his technique not like all that to me, especially without them PEDs. You, it's crazy. With Ryan was knocking niggas out before and after Devin, or at least knocking them down. With Conor Ben, you can see them effects what wore off. Like he don't fight the same with the same energy, the same position, the same aggressiveness. Like I'm like, damn, maybe he should have kept taking them, bro. Cause I ain't gonna lie, if that was anybody else, Regis would have been out of there. It wouldn't have went to decision. Especially if somebody head not in there, and we talked about that. Like if your head not in there, bro, you gotta stop. You see what Bud did with Sean Porter.
Yep.
You feel me? Like you can't stop. And I ain't gonna lie, that wasn't. He was cool and all that. I liked him as a fighter, but if that was anybody else with some power and skills, like a Gary Russell, Regis would have been out of there, bro. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Like look at his face. Like look at his face, bro. Like that's somebody that like that video he sent. You could tell he was in it because with where he was throwing, I'm like Conor Ben like don't look the same he did as Al Jury. I'm sorry, bro. Like them TV shows, like you could tell who taking it
Look at his
and
physique.
who really like not.
Yeah, I was saying, look at his physique, man. You could tell.
Yeah.
It's just like the movie, because I compared it to the movie The Program. You remember the movie The Program?
Yeah.
Remember that lineman? That lineman who was juicing, and then when he stopped and he got ran over, and then he was back on it, and his coach looked at him, and he looked, and he was like, he just put his head down, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? His physique looked like you look different. You can't hide that. And then later on, it's gonna show later on when this shit break down, he's gonna be crippled, looking crippled and shit. But
exactly. Think about it, Bodywork. He had to go back down to 147, bro.
That's why I say. That's why I say he fooled. Yeah, you missed that one, but yeah, I said he fooled at 47.
Yeah, I missed that one.
Yeah, I said Tank. I said if Tank even entertain to jump up and do something, he'll knock his head off in the stands. I said Devin probably dropped him 2 or 3 times, and Ryan, stops him.
I got Ryan stopping him, bro. He don't like. We thinking, or was it just me? I'm thinking like, oh man, Regis just sold his soul, dog. Like he better go in there and get stopped. Bro, he looked terrible in that fight against Regis.
Yeah, he did. Hey, look. But look, this the thing. He was talking about Ryan, but like you notice him, he ain't said nothing about Rolly either. And Rolly had already called him out and said, yeah, he was trying to be all friendly with me and stuff, and he didn't really want to make a fight. Think about like Rolly called, man. I'm gonna do a whole segment on Rolly and everything. He been spilling the beans on everybody, and they trying to make it seem like he don't want no smoke. Do Rolly seem like the type that ain't gonna want no smoke? Like it don't make sense to me.
It don't make not one bit of sense, bro. I don't care what you say. Rolly got that retard strength, bro. You could tell that man is strong the way he don't got no technique the way he throw his punch and all that. But when he hit somebody like the one that not Clarissa Shields down, when he hit him, it looked like the ugliest punch in the world. But when he hit him, it's like he sat him down. I'm like, oh no, that ain't no regular no power, bro. That's something that you hit somebody and they go down. Like it's not even funny. Just imagine like what I've been hearing about him, like sparring with the guy that he been sparring with and all that. If he had any bit of technique, even Floyd said, he said, bro, for somebody that had no experience or none of that, be where he at, bro. We all seen that man lose to what's his name, Jack? What was
Barroso,
his name? Bodywork.
Barroso.
No, the one he lost. Everything was pandemic time, and he lost to him. He won the belt. It was Jackson something Martinez. Jackson
Oh, Jackson
Martinez.
Arenas, yeah.
Yeah, he lost him. Think about from then to now. You get what I'm saying? Like it's
That's
been
what I
a
was
long
trying to
time.
say. Like he's progressed. Like that shit he did with Ryan.
Yeah.
Can't just anybody do that. Ryan put
No,
his
hell
hands in his
no.
pockets, and Ryan know he can box. Ryan was a nice amateur, man. He was a, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
Yeah, bro. Like that's what I'm saying. Like it's cat like in the Mayorga comparison when I was on Corey Spence or TikTok Live, he even said it. He said, bro, that was a strong motherfucker, bro. Like strong. It's different when you fighting somebody with skills like a Shakur and all that. Yeah, they can pick you apart, but when you fighting somebody strong, bro, it's hard. It's unorthodox. I even know that I'm not even no boxer. Somebody that's all wild and wet, you like, come on, bro. Even with the fight with Tank, yo, he cracked Tank. I don't want to hear not one Tank fan say he didn't hit that man. I watched that fight. He hit him like cracked him in his jaw. He cracked him in his jaw and made Tank get on that back foot. Fuck is y'all talking about? He made Tank get on the back foot. Somebody that y'all say is a bum. Make Tank retreat to where though he gotta fight back with that man. That's not no somebody that, oh yeah, I'm gonna take him right. No, fuck that. You gotta watch all these boxers, bro. Ain't just about skills. There's about skills and all that, but you gotta be skilled enough to know, like, oh, I got a long night ahead of me, bro. Like Floyd fought when he fought what was his name? Chop Chop. I watched that on YouTube like when I first started really getting into boxing. I'm like, I thought they said first Floyd ain't fight no black fighters, and I thought they said Floyd wasn't fighting nobody. But that was a tough ass fight, bro.
Hell yeah.
Like, come
Hell
on, bro.
yeah.
Like,
Chop was giving it to, yeah, he had his
yeah,
moment.
bro. Even motherfucking Augustus, I watched that too. That
I
wasn't
think he
no
said that was
easy
his
fight.
most challenging fight.
Exactly, bro. Like that's what I'm saying. Like what it is, like fighters, they want to look pretty, and they want to show up for them black fan bases that they want so bad. To where though the black fan base say, oh yeah, I don't know who I got. No, bro, y'all gotta fight them in between fights, bro. Or it ain't gonna work out for your career. Who wanna fight easy fights all their career? Even Oshaki Foster. You see how he climbed up his resume and all that. He not fighting no easy fight, bro. He fought the same nigga that Shakur fought, and Conceição looked the biggest shit in there with him. I don't mean no harm. He looked the biggest of motherfucker. And you would think like, oh yeah, Shakur will one dude, Oshaki. No, hell no. That's two different fights. You don't know what's gonna happen, but it's always good to fight them type of fights because it gives them fans like, oh yeah, he handled somebody that we didn't know, and he gave him something. So that Muay Thai fight, I think is a good fight too. One at least. Even if Shakur beat him, you gotta make it at least look like something, bro. Because you gotta give the fans the matches they remember. Like if I think Calico said it earlier. If y'all keep downing Tank and trying to bash him and put him down as a fighter, so what the fuck is gonna happen if you beat him? People gonna be like, oh yeah, you know Shakur and Devin, they did say Tank was this, that, and the third. Why should we even give him credit? You feel me?
That's what Dev did. That's what Dev did with the Brian Norman. That's what they did with the Brian Norman. Like it made it like, you know what I'm
who's
saying?
still talking about that fight? Exactly. People don't even remember that fight because you done bashed them all the whole time. The whole time, if you would have gave him like credit all the way up to that point, everybody would have been like, "Oh yeah, like yeah, he did handle him," even though you know he got only this channel gave Brian Norman the credit.
Look, they doing it with this right now. Like man, they
God.
ripping all the value out of this fight right now. So I'm like, I don't want to hear shit afterwards about how he a world beater because right now y'all saying Xander ain't shit. He ain't fought nobody. He ain't, you know. I mean, I'm like y'all pouring all of the equity straight out of this motherfucker right now. It ain't no. So when he beat him, if he do spark him, and then you can't claim, oh man, he's the world beater. He's, you know, he's really bud. I told y'all, like, nope, y'all already ruined it. That's why I don't even like going nowhere and talking about this fight no more.
Exactly, bro. It's sad, bro. Like even the interview I sent you, Nigel, he even seemed like he was like, yes, everybody been saying the whole time it was him too. Why even take this fight? Bro, why even ask him that question, bro? Ask about the fight, how he gonna beat him, what Boots bring to the table. Talk about that, bro. Don't be no fanboy, cause that ruins the fight. Cause why even? And even he said was like, bro, I don't even give a fuck about none of that y'all talking about. Bro, I wanted to fight him. Like y'all keep saying,
so you see my dilemma. My dilemma is when you come out and be like, why? Because that's everybody saying, why even take it? It's like, man, this is what we want them to do.
This is what we want.
That's why
bro.
I say, man, it's like we get hit in the head for a living too, just like these boxers, because people be saying some of the dumbest shit, and I be sitting back like, maybe I'm on another planet, man. I'm about to move to Mars, y'all. This world a mess. My Pastor Troy voice, you know what I'm saying?
Bro, like, do we want the fights or not? That's all I'm gonna say. That's a good ass fight to make. I don't care what nobody say. But the fans like, why even take it? You know why? Because they've been pushing that. Even at the press conference, they were saying that nobody don't want to fight Boots. Bro, it's not about if they want to fight him or not. Fighters don't worry about that shit. If that's the case, why all the bum, dirty fights he had, why they take the fight? People want to fight the man, bro. They want to fight him. It's just that the boxing game so watered down now, and business oriented, and you know, it's nothing wrong with that. It's just like it's just that shit is just like, you know, like the fans is such D-riders that they don't know a good fight when they see one because they so worried about one fighter.
Right.
One fighter, bro. They don't bring up Xander's eyes at all. So when they say, oh, it must be a cash sell, top rank must be ready to get rid of him. Why I gotta be that? Why not? He went to his promoter and said, I want to, hey, Devin bluffed me out, which is true. You know, this fighter bluffed me out. He was talking about, you know, Virgil Ortiz. He said Virgil Ortiz wanted everything to go his way. And I believe him. Like, I don't care what Virgil Ortiz tries to say and do all that. That's how these fighters is.
Because Virgil and them team thought they could sun young Xander.
Yeah, sun him. Yeah, bro. Like,
you know what I'm saying? That's the way I thought
on,
that.
Bro.
That I was like, oh, they just tried to sun you. That's all that was about.
And then don't even call for all that. All you need is she fights that one fight, and Zab and I'm saying, bro, it gets done behind closed doors before a fan even hear wind about it, cause it go back and forth before that, not on Twitter, Instagram, or none of that, or trying to make the other fighter look bad. None of that. It don't work like that, bro. Like they got that fight done, and I ain't even hear nothing. But I'm thinking that him and Devin was going to fight. I ain't gonna lie, they got me.
Yeah, I
'Cause
would
Zab said
expect
it.
that one to go down first. You
Yeah,
know.
Zab said it though. AC
Yeah.
Zab said, yeah. He said we. He said, yeah, we pushing for Sanders diet at 154 on TikTok. I was on mouth
Where
on live. Yeah,
where
he
I'm
said
at,
we pushing for that.
and this is pretty much where I land my plane on the subject matter and everything. It's when you make a match, right? And you talk about legacy and you talk about your credibility. All right. You can't have it both ways. You can't be, oh, they'll never give me my credit uh, as you're tearing down your opponent. No, it's not going to work that way. If you're building this machine and you're building this engine or power cell, whatever you're talking about, but if you're complaining about every piece, oh well, I found this part out of a old scrappy this and scrappy that. How does that compare to the guy who's like, look, that's kind of out of my wheelhouse. I just respect the engine model. I respect the company. I respect everything that they did, and they built me an engine / power cell, whatever, that I just have complete trust in. And I'm quite sure that once we're matched up, we're gonna see something exciting. When you do things like that, you have to understand that this is what makes you not marketable. This is where the people that are behind the real machine, and I say this, we all talk about machines. Oh, he got the machine behind him. Well, a blender is a machine to a certain degree. Well, not to a certain degree, it is a machine. So what's the difference between a blender and an F1 engine? Value. I got the blender behind me, but that shit just takes everything and it makes a mess of it. I have to be careful of what I put in it. You know what I'm saying? So it makes something that tastes good, that can go down, that's palatable. That F1 engine, it requires a specific type of fuel. You put that fuel in that bitch, you got the tires right, 9 times out of 10, any other car on the planet, it's gonna dust them shit. So for me, the analogy is saying this: mind what you say when it comes down to your opponents. If you're trying to build your career and legacy, be responsible about it. And your responsibility also lies in the way you talk. For fighters like Devin, and for the way the community is talking about Xander, and everything's a foregone conclusion, and stuff like that, we don't know. This is boxing. We all could kind of hedge on the way we feel about certain things, but at the end of the day, it's boxing. Anything can happen on that given night. And if one of these guys show up and they're everything is working for them, more than likely that's the one that's going to win the fight. If the business of boxing just doesn't step in and have something weird planned. So I just want to ignore all the silly talk about Xander. I'm just looking for a great fight. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Xander. I like what he's bringing to the table. I'll be rooting for him. For me, this is one of the fights, or one of the type of fights I've been asking from Jerron Boots Ennis to say, well, god damn, bruh, finally. So this fight right here has me looking at Boots to answer questions. Xander has me looking to answer questions, but the questions are different. Are you really that guy? For Boots, I'm just asking the question, are you that guy? You've been in this bubble for so long that Xander is looking like the test of where you're outside of your bubble, you're outside of your element. Everything is kind of uncomfortable here because this is stylistically, size, age, everything says something different. So Xander wants this fight. We've heard his team say things, and it's like Xander's like, no, I want this because I want to show people what I want to show people. The same energy that we got from Brian Norman, the same energy we get from Abdullah Mason. So with just that alone, I have to give Xander the props because I've heard Boots' not trainer, but promoter, say if roles were reversed, we would not be here for this type of fight. And that's where, for me, I'm just like,
I heard that too, AK.
Huh?
I say I heard that too, and I was like, wow.
Yeah, and for me, it's more like, you know what? Xander's moving the way that tells me he's a champion. He's not a product. He's not something that looks to be built, maneuvered, or anything. He's the man. His team said X, Y, and Z. He said, fuck that. If I'm going to show everybody that I'm great, that this is my division, then this is what I want. I went after these two guys. They're not ready yet, so I'm going to go after him. What we always say. Who's next? Who's your B? Who's your C? Do you have a mental list of tough opponents you want to fight? And Xander's like, yeah. And y'all going to be impressed with my list because my list brings me to legacy and greatness at the same time. I don't have to cherry pick and look for the easy opponent to say this is the path I'm going to take. And the guys that do it that way go up against the Persian army, thousands and thousands of soldiers, ships, mystical beasts, unworldly weapons and shit like that. And they plot out a victory. Yeah, between these two mountains, it forces a bottleneck. And all we need is 300 soldiers. And we can hold off 10,000 soldiers. That's what we're going to do. This is where we make our stance. This is where we attain our greatness. This is where we make history. And Xander sees that. And you have to applaud that. So all the goofy, well, if he believed in himself, he'd have took the 50. Shut the fuck up. He signed the fight, bro. That tells it. That says it all. He took the fight. That says it all. So you go over there with your distracting point. I don't give a shit. I don't want to hear that. Because if I do hear it and I'm in the park on that day, I might walk on the court and say, didn't I tell you to shut the fuck up with that bullshit? Now give me this fucking ball. Poof! Throw that shit and be like, now go get it, motherfucker. Because I told you. And in fact, when you go get that shit, don't come back today. And that'd be the type of shit I'd be on. That's where I land that plane, Body. Great show, bro.
Word. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Good cook, man. Good solid points, man. I hope y'all enjoying y'all week. I've been putting my body through some things, man. Testing my limits, man. I'm feeling my age, but I feel like I'm rolling the odometer back every day. You know what I'm saying? So I've been focused, man, and doing my thing, man. And I ain't giving up on boxing, man. But I appreciate y'all for coming through, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. On to the next one. Salute, AJ.
Salute, AJ.
Hey, salute, man. Man, listen, this the realest in the business, man. I'm telling you, every time. Salute to the panel, salute to the chat, bro.
Appreciate you and your contributions, man. Hope you have a good rest of your week, brother.
You too. Hope it all is well and continue to push it, man.
All right, man. Another solid episode in the books. And for me to make my point, I'm gonna piggyback off of something that AC said. You know, it is odd that when it comes down to the Xander, it's like not are we applauding Xander for actually making this happen because he didn't have to do it, right? People are saying, "Oh well, he didn't believe in himself because he would have." Well, he was a champ. He didn't have to do it, and he signed up to fight, quote unquote, the boogeyman at 154. Now, I'm not saying he's not. I'm not saying he is. I know a lot of people that'll fight him. I've done videos with all these people calling him out, saying they want to fight, saying send an offer. Eddie just came on and said some crazy shit about Jermell Charlo. And I'm like, it's clear that you did not even listen to what Jermell Charlo said. Jermell Charlo said, hey, I'll fight all three of y'all. He said, I'll fight Boots and Virgil, either one. He said, listen, he said, and I don't even want a lot of money. He said, I want y'all to call me and tell me what I'm worth. And then we'll go from there. Like, let's talk it out. Tell Eddie, give me a call. Eddie turns around and says that Jermell's gonna want another, and then he's gonna want a comeback fight and all this. Like, yeah, he might want a comeback fight. Okay, cool. Let him get a comeback fight. That's even better for you. That way you get a full throttle and you won't get the excuse that, oh, the layoff, he been off for 2-3 years, this and this and that. You won't get that. So yeah, he need a comeback fight. Okay, cool. Everybody got a comeback fight except for Earl. He don't do the tune-ups. He coming right back to the real smoke. Salute to Earl Spence. But what does that say about the guys that don't have dance partners right now, who's the ultimate A-side? What does it say about a guy like Devin who just turned down Rolly? And Rolly did the math, might I add. Do they believe in themselves? Because they didn't do what Xander did. O'Shaquie believes in it because what? He said, look, I want Pop, so I'm going to have to go spank Son. And he got it done. Did he believe in himself? Shakur said he want more tired. He the A-side. He the superstar, the machine behind him. He got that airplane engine that AC talked about behind him. Not just a little blender. Mortalia got the blender. So why that ain't happen? Do he believe in himself? Keyshawn didn't go out to Rolly. He fighting Nate Albright, a guy he already beat. Do he believe in himself? Food for thought, y'all, man. Like this on cold stuff. This is what I'm gonna say, man. It's almost like you a vigilante. You feel in your heart of hearts. If you find out it's a PDF file somewhere in your neighborhood, you going out, you smoking them all, you getting rid of them, you know what I'm saying, you wreaking havoc on them all. Then you found out there's one in your family. But you don't keep the same energy, and now we just got to glaze over because you already know Uncle such and such. No, I don't. Let me find out. That's how I feel about this on code, off code stuff. That's the same way. Like we can't be out here with the knives and the pitchforks the minute this fighter don't do what we think he should do, and it's he's a duck, and you pulling them down and dragging them down and all that. Like Richardson Hitchens, if you got some smoke for him and you ready to call him out and wreak havoc on him, what about your fighter? What about Dev? What about Shakur? What about these guys that ain't keeping the same energy? What about these guys that both of these guys right here, they the A-sides. They could pick, choose, and refuse. It's a spot right for the taking. America is still thirsting for a star, especially in Tank's absence. What's happening? I'm telling you, when people start maneuvering and doing this and that, you know what I'm saying? It's like walking through a landmine because eventually, with all this picking and choosing, you're going to be forced to fight somebody that you never really thought you was going to have to fight. And the milk's going to go bad. Yeah, I don't know who you talking to. But we don't even talk like that, man. We don't tell people to shut up over here. Anyways, man, I wanted to put something on your mind. This is Fruits and Veggies, not that Reggie. That fact-based content, not opinion-based. Even though we have ours. I was saying, hey, go listen to these guys, you know, where they all know your name, and they all glad you came, and they all sing your praise, and then come over here. I'm saying, man, more than likely, if you sticking and standing around and listening to all that dumb shit that they be saying and doing just to get likes, clicks, and views, you probably not gonna fit in over here. We're gonna keep it all the way straight down the middle. We're gonna judge them all accordingly. We're gonna have the same energy for each and every one of them, and we don't even be egregious. Silence is consent, meaning that all it takes for evil to prevail is for men and women to remain silent. So we speak to the things that need to be spoken to in the sport of boxing. We start inside the ring and work our way outside the ring as necessary. So really here, we talk about the X's and O's, the matchups, like how people are moving so that we can get the good fights. We're not talking about how much they make and all that dumb shit. We want the good fights. And we salute the guys that's moving away, the Brian Normans, the Oshaki Fosters, the Xander Zayas, the guys that's actually really moving and running, the Abdullah Masons, the people that's running towards the smoke and that's going to preserve the sport. That's what we all about. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully I put something on your mind, or somebody from the panel put something on your mind, you know, gave you something to think about, something that you could put in your rucksack and march on with. You know, to live to talk another boxing conversation. But let's stop all this fake ass on code shit. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be on code. We're gonna be on code for the truth. You know what I'm saying? Not just because. We want them all to win. We want them all to go home to their families and make bukus of money. That's not the point. Your man's is moving funny. Thanks for choosing Bodywork Boxing. Well, we don't take things for face value. We do that body work.
He didn't want to box. He wanted to actually prove that he could punch with you. He was like, what the fuck is this nigga, right? Oh, okay, you want to go to sleep. You tired.
Welcome to Bodywork.